Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight in the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for the Encore Overwatch matchup between USF Green and Coog Esports. Our casters for this evening are the great and powerful Wacky Gons and his trusty sidekick, Woody. Rest assured, tonight's entertainment is in the best of hands, and it is our singular desire to present our audience and the fans of Overwatch at large with the most impressive presentation of competitive esports possible. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you're watching live, feel free to say hello in the chat. Just keep it cordial and let's have a good time. So, Wacky, as the resident expert of Overwatch, what metas do you think we'll see represented in this matchup, if any?
I wouldn't expect too many metas coming around in this ELO, Woody. We do know that USF Green, they do like running their fire player. They also like running ZZ on that Drunkard. We know they heavily like those explosive characters. Coog Esports, this will be their first game, so we won't know too much coming in here, but expect really just to see players just run what they're comfortable with for the most part. Maybe we'll see some ball sig, maybe some double shield, but I would expect a lot of variety in team compositions here, Woody.
That's a good insight into these teams. Of course, as you mentioned, Coog Esports, this is their first matchup, but by the end of the night, they will have played 2 games. They are running a back-to-back today, but for now, they have to go through the USF Green roster. Do we know the starting lineups yet for these teams? We can go through those rosters while we assemble the lobby here. I can just... Yeah, I can just run through it until we know for sure, and then we can just piece this together once it's finalized. So for the tank role on USF Green, we have Brock and Roll and Labam and Uchiha Madura. On the DPS role, we've got Kirito, Zizi is too short, and then for support, Jarcy, Tiger Lily, and Toast. And was it who was it you said was playing the Pharah?
Kirito, but he's not in the lobby right now.
Kirito. So it remains to be seen if... Looks like he's trying to join here. So while we wait, we'll go over to Coog Esports and their roster. For the tanks, we have Ariajet, Diego, and by the way, if I'm mispronouncing these, it's because I'm a robot. I'm not a real person. Luigi Perez and Greetings. Greetings is actually a tank and DPS flex. We'll see if he ends up playing what role he chooses here. Looks like he's currently slotted for DPS. And then we have Caffeinated and Xavier Leo. Pardon my pronunciation here. Yodel is a DPS support flex, and Dino Lobster and Vo on support.
Xavilio, I believe it's the pronunciation.
Xavilio.
Yeah.
You know, if I just use my eyes, I think I'll end up doing better. And actually, his icon is an eyeball, so I will accept full shunning for the mispronunciation.
All right. First map. Woody, looks like we're going to play some Lijiang Tower as we usually do. What are your expectations coming into this? This is your first time casting here in Encore this season. How you feeling right now?
I think I might have cast one another time, but it was a disconnect, so it basically doesn't count. So in that sense, I'm feeling great, feeling excited, especially Lijiang Tower. Hopefully we see some Symmetra, which is always annoying to get that beam to the face. But maybe not. So we'll see what they roll out here with.
Now arriving
Probably
at
get some Pharah action here. Maybe some echoes. This is a very favorable, very generous skybox, as you know. Good for booping, good for maintaining that air control.
Yeah, and we also have USF Green looking here to bounce back from their last loss here. We did see the Junkrat coming out from ZZ last time, and then he instantly switched. So let's see if they run out the same thing, or they've decided to something. You know, they're actually coming out here with the 6-man dive with the Reaper Sombra, Lucio Moira, Winston Diva comp, and it looks like on the other side, Coog Esports going in, probably have some. Let's see, probably gonna mirror as well. So this should be rolling out here.
Should be a lot of action. No anchor tanks. Lots of flying around, lots of jumping. So let's get into action here on the first map. Both players are approaching the center point here. Blue team taking the, actually both teams taking the bridge. They're gonna meet here in the courtyard. Early shots coming in, playing around the column. Monkey's gonna dive on the back from Coog Esports. Hat coming in on Lucio. Dino Lobster's having to get out of there. So far, no picks, but red team's getting low here. Coog Esports got to get some heals on Arya Jet, their main tank here. Both Winston's diving into the back lines. Bubbles are down. Still no picks coming in. Lots of good peeling happening here. And the first pick comes in. Jarzi takes out his opposing Lucio. And so far, USF Green has the advantage here. Of course, they even it up there with Zavilo on the Tracer. Reaper is hacked. Greetings is just playing around this wall here, trying to avoid damage. Not enough as he falls. And now it looks like Coog Esports is possibly going to turn this around with the late arrival of the tanks. They just can't seem to get these final picks. Remake coming in here from Uchiha. And the Coalescence is just what Coog Esports needs here to keep his team up and do that extra damage. Still, no one's capped it. EMP coming in, though, taking out 3 of the players from Coog here. But they still cap. So red team's going to take control here. And they're just building ultimate.
Yeah, this is a never-ending team fight with both teams building up all their ultimates, and we're only at 13% capped here. A little bit different variation. We have Carito on the Sombra, and then Savilo on that Tracer. So there's a little bit of a bigger win condition with Carito. They can go around their hacks, whereas Tracer trying to find a little bit harassment in the backline as both teams try to rotate here.
Yeah, and Coog's just gonna meet them right over here by the Mega. They're still controlling, so they're pulling out ultimates here. They got the beat out, they got the Primal Rage out, and blue team's touching point here, but so far no picks are coming in, so Coog's just gonna rotate back. Yops in the meantime falls off, but ZZ is gonna try and finish this team fight off with the Blossom, does take out Zavilo. And it looks like USF is turning it around, but they still have to finish these picks off and swap control over here. Looks like they're gonna be able to do it, but Reaper's gonna get every last bit out of the stall here. Finally, USF turns it around, stops the damage at 56%. And the ult advantage here is, it's fairly even. Greetings does have his Blossom, but Toast is sitting on Coalescence. Yodel should have theirs for the next team fight.
Yeah, and Trito already built up to another EMP. 87% should be able to get it to that mid fight. That's going to be the big win condition here, but no! Greetings with the Death Blossom, getting 2 kills there.
Yeah, Coog didn't waste any time getting back into the fight. Both tanks immediately dove on him. Looked like USF was caught a little bit off guard. They get 2 early picks, and now they're just going to walk onto the remaining players from USF Sports. Diva Bomb coming out, looks like maybe for just a stall. And not bad getting 35, 36% here, but they're going to wish they'd held on for one more team fight.
Yeah, but they have that big win condition here. Carito has that EMP and no support ultimates on the other side for Coog Esports. So we gotta keep an eye out here for Carito. How they set up this EMP is gonna be massive.
So they're all rotating back around.
Ooh.
Monkey diving in. Little exposed here, but so far he's okay. But huge hack coming in again, getting 3 players here. Both supports. Dino Lobster going down early in this team fight. So this is their win condition. As you stated, they have everything they need to take it out here. Labam launches his Primal Rage. It gets one tank and one support, so they should be able to win this. But again, they've got to get these picks pretty quickly here.
Oh, Desperation Death Boss. I'm trying to turn that team fight around, but they were already down so many members. Looks like USF Green is gonna cap it with that EMP there.
Thought maybe there's a chance Greetings was gonna toss that ult away so he could swap, but he's staying on the Reaper, it looks like. So let's see if the tanks do an early dive here. They're just gonna launch in quickly, or are they gonna rotate around? No, they're diving in.
They are down that D.Va Max. There is a small opening here. They try to counter with that Coalescence, Woody.
And they're doing some damage. Arya falls. So great capitalization on that from USF. They recognized the early dive that Coog liked to do that, and they responded much better this time. Just fought them off nicely. So they'll hold for at least one more team fight.
Look at this. Now Corrido's built another EMP during that entire team fight there. But Yodel and Dino Lobster, they have their support elements, so they do have a chance to counter this EMP. But
So
can they avoid the EMP here?
We might see competing sound barriers here. EMP gets almost the entire team. Tracer's on point, but I think they're just going to try and win this team fight and then go back and take it back. USF is so close to getting picks here. Sound barrier comes out. They've got to get back to point.
Oh! Ooh.
So it seemed like the win condition went according to plan, but they needed to prioritize either winning that team fight quickly or getting back to point. Maybe one person could have gone back and touched. That's gonna sting.
Yeah, there was probably like a little bit of a miscommunication there. Corrido probably wanted to go early with that EMP, but the rest of the team didn't look like they really wanted to follow up. Maybe they didn't have the cooldowns. I'm not really too sure, but there was just no follow-up after that EMP happened. And once the hacks wore off, the enemy supports or the supports of Coog Esports, they're just able to counter with their own ultimates there and be able to re-engage.
If you're USF Green, though, you gotta like how you handled some of those team fights. Some excellent play there. See if they can keep a better eye on the point here and extend it into the third. So Symmetra's going to teleport them onto point. Both teams doing that actually. A pretty standard rollout here. Both Immort fields coming down, so no Immorts for the remaining fight. And some early picks coming out for Coog Esports. Looks like it's just a matter of time till they flip this and get first control. Big advantage building up those early percentages.
Yeah, they were able to wall off that Reinhardt there, just be able to isolate him with that Mei. There's a little bit of a difference here. Corrido now going onto that Mercy. A full team comp swap for USF Green, so they're going to be down on that ultimate economy coming into this next team fight here.
See if they can catch him off guard by switching over here. Now, once they get onto point, they're still going to have to deal with those pesky Symmetra turrets, but maybe they can create some angles with the pharmacy, get some picks here, and take advantage of it.
Ball rolling in. Corrido just trying to find something on the side. The window comes out early, and they're just rushing in there, Woody.
They have no Immort either, so Corrido's just doing unchecked damage in the back. They're finally turning to focus on him. He can't take any more of this damage, and he's going to have to back out. He might actually have to, yeah, he's going to fall there. He was 1 HP, so it seemed like they had some momentum in that team fight, but they just weren't able to flip it. USF, that is.
Yeah, Coog Esports doing the right thing, just rushing down the heroes that you can rush down, trying to ignore the pharmacy there. But Corrido was able to build up that barrage during that, I don't know, it's like 20-second team fight there. But on the other side, Coog Esports has a lot of tools coming to this next team fight.
Yeah, good on him getting that ult. But I think it's going to end up having to be one of those situations where he comes in when the team is focused somewhere else. He is on the back of the team. Looks like he's setting up for it, but he's taking a lot of damage from these turrets. Mercy finally gets in here, gives him the pocket. They're going to draw out Sound Barrier, and they're just getting some trades here. But so far, Coog has the advantage. And strike that. LeBam takes out Baptiste. So fairly even team fight here, but still they've got to win it because Coog Esports still maintain control, and the clock is ticking. Finally do swap it over at 78%. Some more ultimates coming out here.
Ooh. Yeah, a little bit of a firework display there, Woody. Both explosions from both teams coming out. There are trades just happening all over the shop, and a rare kill from a Reinhardt actually taking down Corrido on the Pharah there. The tire only gets one, and it's just pandemonium happening on the point right now.
Yeah, USF Green cannot afford to let Coog Esports take this point back, so I think they're throwing all their cards on the table, pushing all their chips into the middle, saying we're going to use whatever we can to keep this point blue. And they were able to fight them off. Looked like a little challenge there at the end, a little shaky, but they ended up doing it. Mercy goes ahead and pops the power moth just to push them all the way out.
But they had to. USF Green had to invest so many ultimates just to win that team fight. The early bat window coming out just to zone him out. Gets a kill onto the Mercy. That's a great opening pick.
Great pick. That window was so far back. If USF Green had been more prepared for it, they might could have avoided that. But nevertheless, they're down early. And Coog Esports just walks in, starts getting more and more picks. Maybe an unnecessary blizzard there, but I don't think it matters because Greeting still has wall. Symmetra, she's got her ultimate. Kirito does have barrage, but there's a lot of shield health on that Symmetra ult. So
yeah, plus they have the shield barrier, so it's gonna be a lot of juice to get through. Try to get value from that barrage, plus the fence matrix. Although early B and the immortality coming out early, they're trying to rush down Toast on the Lucio, and they do manage to get that kill.
Yeah, they were able to touch there, which drew the team back, but this is a good zoning D.Va bomb here, but both D.Va bombs coming in. So much chaos happening, people dying all over the place. Mines are gonna, maybe, well, we'll see. Most of the mines are off of point here, and it looks like Coog Esports is gonna say, this point is ours. And they'll take it 2-0.
Yeah, not a bad showing there actually from USF Green. A lot of improvement happening there the last time I casted them in their last game, but in the end, Coog Esports just rushing down, mowing down the opponents. Now their rush was looking pretty good here.
Yeah, what would you say, just at first glance, what was if you could pick one tipping point between those team fights, what gave Coog Esports the advantage there?
Well, I think whenever you're playing a control point, when you have to do almost a full team comp swap, you just set yourself back up in that ult economy there. They didn't want to. It looked like they didn't want to go with the rush mirror once Coog Esports were able to establish themselves on point. I mean, it was looking pretty decent, but they just weren't able to get as much value as they could on that fire there.
Yeah, I don't think those Symmetra turrets ever got fully displaced off of the point, except for that one time where they were able to flip it. They were just dug in like ticks, and then just couldn't make it happen. But on to the next one. Some good fights in that one. Let's see if they can push it into the next map, which I believe is Rialto, an escort map. Is that right?
Yep, we are going to Rialto for the next one here, and then we're just going to actually have some subs coming in. We're going to have Brock and Roll on USF Green coming in for Labam. And then we got Tiger Lily coming in for Jarzy here.
Good deal. And then USF Green, well, I guess do they get to pick the map, or is it Rialto for sure?
It is Rialto for sure.
Okay. All right, so while they get situated here, of course, escort maps are very different from control maps. You'll have one team staying on the payload, the other team trying to stop them from advancing to the various checkpoints. So we should see some different comps and different strategies employed here. Possibly some boops with the water around. Everyone likes a good environmental kill. Do you think we'll see a Widowmaker on defense here?
Knowing USF Green, I would expect them to probably run that fire. Kirito loves running that fire, maybe some Echo, and it looks like Coog Esports deciding to probably favoring some rush here. So it's going to be a battle of 2 different team comps. What I expect coming in here, Rialto.
It's like both teams are readied up. Should start here shortly. And get some Rialto action. Just another beautiful map from the Overwatch devs.
Initiating match.
I wish there was a universe where you could fight on the water. These beautiful boats and these nice robots.
That would be a cool map, Woody. It would be cool to see an underwater map. Overwatch. Maybe Overwatch 2. They'll make it an underwater map.
Yeah, and I think Torbjorn, you know, he has his swimsuit skin, and he's just begging for some underwater turrets or
Ready.
something. You know, he wants to wear a swimsuit. He got it for a reason. Come on, Blizzard, make it happen.
Yeah, you know, we got to put all of those swimsuits into action there coming into the game. So, I mean, we have a map in space. Well, technically we don't anymore, but they have removed
Right,
that
yeah,
map.
but we don't talk about that map.
No.
We don't talk about 2CP anymore.
No, but we still get, for some reason, we can still get Temple of Anubis in 2 out of our 3 competitive games, but no.
Oh, well, we don't talk about that either. It's a hard life being an Overwatch fan. But times are changing. Stuff to look forward to.
All right, here
Coog
we go.
Esports on attack.
1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
So Kirito actually choosing to play Echo. Similar to Pharah in that they take control of the skybox. They can peek over those roofs. High damage potential. Hopefully Baptiste can hit those air nades. Make sure they get heals on the DPS. And they're just doing poke damage up on this high ground as the cart advances around this corner, giving up a lot of space pretty early. But if they can win this team fight, that's all that matters. Doing a good job of not taking too much damage. CG Short's gonna fall, so half the DPS is gone. Kirito not gonna get a lot of heals here with the support line they have, and falls early. The Immort field's gonna come out, but with both DPS down, it's just a matter of time, a simple matter of walking onto him, and it's hard to overcome that.
Yeah, Arya was actually getting a lot of value there, just distracting USF Green just that entire time, and the rest of the team, the rest of Coog Esports, they were just able to roll through. I don't know if they were able to get a touch here. I think that's just going to be first point cap, almost for free, basically.
Yeah, that's a really fast cap. They've got 5.5 minutes just about, and they're still fighting in this room, which is, well, they get a pick there, a couple of picks. So usually ill-advised to fight in a room, but if you can push the cart and win the team fight, why not?
Yeah, just taking out all the spawns there, you know, and now they're able to just take control of the entire map, and look at that ult economy disparity there, just coming in with so many tools for second point, plus they have map control.
Yeah, second point here. This is crucial, actually, getting this much progress and taking control of the high ground. This is one of the hardest spots to push around on attack. Kirito does get a nice headshot on Zavilio, taking that Tracer out early.
Yeah, just stop the bleeding a little bit there as Arya coming into the mine just completely zones out the high ground there, and they're just rolling. This payload has not stopped yet.
Yeah, the payload's not even contested. Brock and Roll almost contested, then decides to back away, maybe just for his own survival, because Coog Esports is rolling down the stairs like an avalanche. They do not care. They're getting in their face. Here comes a Flux. Does get one, gets the Tracer, but Tracer blinks out of it. Pulls out the Transcendence. And they could have saved that Transcendence, but they just went ahead and pushed forward with it to win that team fight. And just like on point 2, this is going to buy them a lot of time, a lot of space, while USF Green waits for respawns.
And that's 5.5 minutes remaining, Woody. They have so much time in the bank, and only now do we see USF Green to actually have tools to probably counter-engage here. But they can barely leave a spawn! Diego is just harassing them, just making it so difficult for them to come out. They have to bongo in the spawn just to get out.
Yeah, so they're at a huge space disadvantage here. The cart is already entering through the doors here. Dragons might be the death knell, but they did get Lamp out. Counter Dragons coming in, takes out Yodel, who was on the cart anyway and wasn't really participating in the fight that whole time. They might be able to salvage this. They get a couple picks, and they will have respawn advantage here. Sigma's separated from his team. This should be they should be able to pick up the Sigma. Actually, he backs out. He gets behind this bulletproof window here.
Yeah, Kirito there just managed to salvage things, managed to get 2 kills there, and Tiger Lily killing Ari on the ball. And if they finally stop the bleeding here, now they can actually hold on a 3rd point here as the mines come in from Arya.
Yeah, but they've got Window coming down here. ZZ is hanging on to his high noon. He might decide to pop it here, see if they push in. And Mort's going to keep everyone alive, but they're so low. Everyone in USF Green was at 5% HP. They need to use high noon here. I don't know that it would help, but
Wow.
Complete.
yeah, that was a pretty dominant showing there.
Yeah, that was a massive flux there coming out of it. Managed to pick up 5 people. Yeah, they were able to survive after that immortality field, but they were so low HP, every single player from USF Green, you know, and they were able to follow up and just clean up those kills, and it just wasn't enough.
The aggression from Coog Esports is incessant. So if USF Green can find a way to counter that, maybe slow them down a little bit. Of course, now they're on attack, so they're gonna have their hands full trying to get out of spawn here. Depending on what Coog does, of course, now that they're on defense, they might change their strategy up a little bit. Coog Esports, that is.
Yeah, USF Green just looks like they can't handle the pace of the other teams that they've been going against right now, and they also they like running heroes. It looks like that play out at a little bit slower pace with that Pharah, with that Echo, and they probably don't look too comfortable playing on this rush. But they are gonna decide to actually run the rush comp on attack here.
So they're gonna give it a shot. And speaking of giving it a shot, we've got Zavilio. We have a Widowmaker sighting. So Widowmaker sniping and greetings on Hanzo shooting logs. Hopefully the shield from Brock and Roll is on point here.
Stop the payload.
They just need to get there. They need a sim TP fast. You know, they have the team comp that actually matches up pretty well if they can sim TP correctly here.
So they're rotating all the way around to the left. Zavilio's off on the right, creating a cross angle as Widowmaker. They're going to try and win this team fight while making no progress on the cart. I'm not sure I've seen this before. Zavilio is literally standing on the payload, shooting at them from behind.
Yeah, very, very early TP, kind of try to get value, but you know, they had the right idea, it just wasn't executed. I think a couple of people fell off that sim TP, and they were just a little bit disorganized there, coming into that rush.
Yeah, pushing your whole team through the sim TP can be tricky. And they're going to try it again, wrapping all the way around to the left. What are your thoughts on this? Not making point progress here. You can use the payload to your advantage to block a lot of incoming damage.
Yeah, I would probably think that you move the payload a little bit and then you go for the sim TP rush, but they're deciding just to go for it all the way, and the Coog Esports are just kiting it around. They're just running away, which is what you should do against the rush. The Sigma is going to get caught out here.
Though,
yeah.
So they're getting healing, and now they're going to be able to pick them apart. So looks like it worked out for him in that sense. Ball is still just stalling here.
Yeah, it's just a minute and a half of no card progress. Only now are they moving that payload. So if you're Coog Esports, you do probably have like 2 more team fights coming in.
They also have
defense.
ult advantage.
Yeah,
they're gonna have at least one support ult with the trans, but possibly 2. Yodel's almost got rally.
oh, they're rushing on them, and they're all in the low ground. They go for the trans. They managed to kill Civilian, the Widow, the Flux coming out. It's actually massive though.
So Zavilio falls early, but that Flux had everyone in its grasp just about. So Coog's gonna come back in here and take control back possibly. Yeah, so they're still getting picks, but with the respawns coming in, this should be pretty inevitable from Coog to take back control of the payload. And they're gonna hop right back up on this high ground and just start dealing damage as USF Green reassesses. They're pushing up Main Street here. Now they have sights. They got to be careful. Keep that shield up. Don't get picked. And Widow is off to the right again.
Not sure how I feel of them going in against a Widow wall, and then they go for it. Oh, a Fire Strike kill from downtown from Brock and Roll.
Brock and Roll says, "You're not the only sniper in this game." Diva Bomb launching up, takes out Vo, so now they've got no supports. Coog Esports, that is, and this is the time to push. That's exactly what USF Green is doing. They've got the TP set up here, and Hanzo is just trying to knock down some damage here. Trying to avoid getting picked so they can recontest one last time, and that's what Arya Jet's going to allow them to do. He's going to get this touch here.
Yeah, this is where the team comp of USF Green succeeds, though. Just brawling in this choke. That's what they want to do here, but Arya doing such a good job of just touching the point as Sevilio getting ZZ there on the side.
Yeah, the barrier comes out, but it's not enough to save his team, as they had just taken so much damage and they already used Lamp. So Mines are going to clear USF Green off at this point. Now 20 seconds remaining, and Rock and Roll is separated. He's going to get picked here.
God, that's a bad stagger.
Yeah, bad stagger. Sometimes that happens, but 10 seconds here. I don't think they can get a touch. Diva is going to have to hustle, but even if Diva gets in here,
Tiger Lily's got to make the wall riding of her life, and she's not able to. And Coog Esports taking Rialto pretty handily there.
indeed.
Play of the game.
What
Again,
a showing.
signs of life from USF on some of these teams. I think you're on point. It's just a little bit. The games are moving a little bit too fast with Coog Esports. The way that they're able to play these high damage characters and get the most out of them.
Yeah, you could see it though. Like USF Green, they have the ideas, just the execution isn't there sometimes. You know, rushing onto like the Sigma and trying to rush them down with your rush comp. They have the idea behind it, but just the execution is not there. It's not as clean because they don't kill them as fast as they really need to.
Yeah, it's always a trade-off, trying to optimize what you're going to do. Do you play the tactics and the heroes that you're comfortable with and probably best at, or do you play other strategies and other characters to try and match the meta that your opponent is playing? And it looks like they kind of tried both there and just fell short a little bit. But they'll take it into map 3, which is a hybrid map, Blizzard World. All right, going into this hybrid map, what do you think USF Green can do here to try and improve upon what they've done the first 2 maps here with this different style of map?
That's Woody, man, that's a tough question here. It just seems like USF Green, they can't adjust to the tempo right now of the other teams that they've been facing, and honestly, Woody, I'm I don't know what you could do here for USF Green. You kind of need a miracle just to try to make something happen. But you know, miracles can happen. It is Blizzard World. It's a land of wonder.
You know, Wacky, a famous hockey announcer once said, "Do you believe in miracles?" And I, for one, I do believe in miracles. So USF Green here, gonna take defense, and they're gonna put their foot down. I don't know for how long, but they'll put it down, and we'll see what happens. So, Coog Esports, Arya is gonna continue to roll out on Wrecking Ball. He's been doing a good job of harassing. He's just got such a large health pool. It's almost he's just playing the bright shiny object, trying to distract them.
This is probably the third or fourth team composition that I've seen USF Green try to run here, and they're going on a sig ball, so going for a very ranked composition here.
And maybe they're all they want to do is hook and rock this this Wrecking Ball to try and slow him down. So they're playing pretty far back here. They're just leaving ball or Labam on the point. Kirito gets that early pick on Greetings, takes out his counterpart, the opposing Hanzo. That might be their cue to push forward here. Try and get another pick, try and win this early team fight. Labam takes out Bo, and I think they push forward here. They got to press on this.
Yeah, they're pressing just a little bit just to back off the team. Trying to go for that Sigma there. And here we go, like a team fight win for USF Green.
Yeah, you got to feel good about that. Did exactly what they hoped to do. Make sure they don't get back capped here. So they know the Tracer's behind them. The rest of the team is respawning, regrouping in front of them. So USF Green is going to pull back to point. Kirito's holding this high ground up here, just launching logs over his teammates' shoulders. And Coog Esports coming up the left high ground here, getting in position, trying not to get picked while they get grouped up here.
Yeah, Arya and Sevilla just need to set up their dive here. A little bit disjointed coming in. They're forced to recall out as well. But the rest of the team, the rest of Coog Esports, they are pushing in onto that point there. They're on that hog, and they get the kill onto him.
Yeah, Coog Esports is attacking from 3 different points there. Their dive was a little off, but they just kept pushing forward with it. And, Zavilio came around the side, started harassing them. Arya Jet had the Discord and was just kind of dancing with the hog while the rest of the team pushed onto the point.
Yeah.
And slowly turned it around.
Yeah, the rest of the team was just so distracted with the ball and Tracer. They kind of just left Labam on that hog out to dry there, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, if you really want to speed the game up for your opponent, put a diver on their support line and just watch the frustration grow. It's incredibly frustrating, at least for me personally, having a Tracer shooting me in the side of the head while I'm trying to heal my team. So they have one person on cart, just the Brig, who is doing a great job of swinging her chain back there on payload by herself, while the 5 remaining team members push forward and win that team fight.
Yeah, we're getting flashes of Rialto here again, whereas Coog Esports just rolling through second point here. But there are a lot of tools coming out if you're USF Green, so a lot of things can happen coming into this next team fight here.
I just want to shout out Toast, the Zenyatta, for punching the Tracer to death. Does get that pick, and now it's a battle for the high ground. Here come the Dragons. USF Green's gonna have to back out, but the mines are gonna prevent the team from escaping down the stairs, so it forces out the Transcendence from Toast. And a counter Dragon's trying to push them off point before they cap. Brig finally getting into the action here. Destroyed, but that's all right. She pushed the cart all the way up here. Big slam coming in. So both Transcendences are out. Yodel is out of the fight, does not have rallies, so that's going to allow USF Green to come in here and take the point back. Want to make sure you don't get back capped because there are some stragglers hanging around over here. Arya Jet's looking for his health packs.
USF Green able to actually win that team fight here, and this is actually a perfect position here. The spawn advantage from your defender side is so close, and as they get an exit kill onto Diego there, they did have to invest a lot of resources there, but oh, it should be tough coming in here for USF Green. There's a lot of tools on the other side of Coog Esports. They have that rally, they have that pulse bomb, so a lot of things to work with coming in.
Hey, they've got this. They've got the soldier visor. If you can make something happen, maybe they get an early pick, and then they basically just farm ults for the next fight. If they can get a staggered ultimate, or excuse me, a staggered team fight here, that'd be pretty nice. Here comes the visors. more of a zoning visor as no one's really taking damage here. They're going to wrap all the way around the left side, Coog Esports, to take the payload here. And with those 2 picks, that ought to do it. They'll be able to stall a little bit. USF Green will, but not going to last forever as the rest of Coog Esports collapses onto the payload. And see if they leave Yodel here to babysit the payload again. Poor Yodel. Just wanted to grow up and be a soldier and ended up being a UPS driver.
Yeah, she had dreams. Brick had dreams of being in Reinhardt, but no, just moving payload as on the side here, CC getting greetings.
Yeah, nice. Always nice getting a pick. He gets picked as well, but basically just turns this into a 5v5, and the payload has continued to move. But for 1 or 2 team fights every map, the payload has pretty much been under constant movement.
Yeah, now they're resorting to a double shield here as the dragons coming out doesn't really find anything and just zones them out. Greetings with the counter dragons plus the mines. Where do you even go with all these ultimates and a pulse bomb as well?
Yeah, after that Flux slam, both tanks and ZZ were just so low. They basically ended up turning it into a 6v3 right off the bat. Just a matter of finishing those kills off. And USF Green not able to recontest. So a large time bank there, 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. I think Coog lost maybe two fights there, one at first point and one on Streets phase. So they'll switch it up and see if USF Green can keep that momentum on the payload going, just like Coog did.
What do you think, Woody? Do you still believe in miracles?
I am an optimist. I believe in miracles. I'm
Okay.
not guaranteeing. I'll say this: I believe in them, but I don't guarantee them. Spoken like a true politician.
Spoken like a true politician, indeed. You do have a future in politics, I think, Woody. You can make a
Well,
great president.
Well, thank you. I'll use all of my old Overwatch VODs for my campaign ads. And that's all the qualifications you need.
No, I mean,
Doesn't take much to be a politician.
okay.
Just to be able to talk a lot and say whatever you want.
You do have that talking part down. I do have that
Hey.
big talking point.
Well, I'm 1 for 1. So we've got USF Green here. Looks like they're swapping off the Reinhardt. Labam's taking on the Winston. If this stands here, you never know when you're grouping up in the assembly phase.
Yeah, and they have a lot of explosions again. They got Dorito on the Echo, and they got ZZ on his probably favorite hero, Junkrat.
You might see some bubble Winstons coming in here with some Corito explosives. We'll see, though. See if he can get close enough. Civilio's up on the high ground. They're going to want to push him off of there.
Yeah,
He backs down to point.
angle. Oh, wow.
Corito gets a log to the head, but does get res. Meanwhile, Zivilio takes out Tiger Lily. You know, sometimes rezzing your teammate is a thankless job. So they're going to have to back out here and regroup. They lost Uchiha, so they're going to lose all that Zarya charge. And they're going to lose all of this space as Coog Esports pushes them back to stairs here.
Yeah, and then Corito just completely switching off from that Echo to that Pharah. Just probably feels a little bit more comfortable on this hero. And they're just gonna looks like they're just gonna spam that shield.
Yeah, you've got to find some way to get through these long sight lines on this point.
Yeah.
Taking all that
Early
damage. Early nano, you're right. Labam jumps in, gets out Zivilio and Yodel. So they really need to take advantage of this. USF 3 does. And it looks like they'll be able to definitely respawn. They got to finish both of these kills here. Torbjorn, who's, I'll note, not wearing his summer games outfit, is the last one to fall. So it took 2 fights, but USF Green actually a strong showing here on
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think either team or Coog Esports was expecting that early nano there, and they were a little caught off guard on that engagement.
Yeah, so we've got pretty even ultimates here. The early BAP window comes out. I think USF Green just disengages here. They have still enough progress to make their time worth it with the cart just coming around the corner here. Tyre's going to force Esports to back down a little bit. Will he get a pick here?
Gets the immortality field. Oh, Labam wanted to use his primal, but gets stunned before he can use it. The res does come in for Credo, and Uchiha's trapped. Can't find a way, and he goes down, but at least the payload is still moving, but they're gonna have to back out sooner or later here.
You know, I think they would have been okay there if she had been able to get out. And they might be able to turn it around, actually, with the pharmacy and the backlines. They're still getting cart progress, but then they do fall, so they might decide to back out here. ZZ Short going for the trade.
This is honestly, that is ZZ's specialty. Every time they lose a team fight, he'll manage to get 1 or 2 kills at the end.
Every little bit counts. Labam gonna get some cheeky little ultimate charge here. They didn't realize he was just sitting up on the high ground. He's gonna primal rage here.
Oh,
it's taken out so quickly.
Main tech experience.
Not sure what the thinking was there. Maybe you wanted to wait for your team to group up there. Both tanks have fallen. It looks like Kirito and Tiger Lily having some fun in chat. As long as we're all having a good time here.
It looked like Labam tried to use the primal to boop the enemy Sigma, and he just fluxes out of there, and Labam just instantly getting melted, just getting shot in the butt, and we're gonna have to reset here to going with the nano. Oh, gets one.
He dives on Bo and takes out the Zenyatta, forces out Lamp here. High Noon comes out with the BAP window, and USF Green smartly just backs back around the corner. Doesn't choose not to engage there. Great value there, and baits out all those ultimates. Bubble Monkey coming in, gets stunned. He's got to stay alive here. He's so low. He needs to get topped off. You don't want your main tank to go down when you've got this much good progress. And they're going to press the advantage here. They're looking like channeling their inner Coog Esports and pushing all the way up. Bubble saving Monkey from getting stunned there. Clutch Bubble.
Oh.
Monkey's up top. See if he can stay alive. Looks like they're coming up on the second checkpoint here. And they're not wasting any opportunities. Actually drawing out a Dragons there. Maybe Zavillia's going to swap off the Hanzo, or that was a Desperation Dragons. But pretty impressive attack here from USF. Despite a couple of missteps, they still got 3.5 minutes for this third point.
Yeah, not a bad showing, actually. They actually have more time coming in this third point than Coog Esports, and Sevilla going onto that Ashe, going for a double hit. Nope, back on the Hanzo. Never mind.
So it looks like he didn't want that 2 or 3% ultimate charge that he had banked. He wanted to reset back at 0. Card is wrapping around here, and Kirito's getting a lot of damage in here. He's at 65% already on his next ultimate. No Immort field, and the picks are coming in. ZZ Short is taking people out. Toast falls, so USF Sports is down a little bit of support, but that's not going to matter at all. It'll just be a matter of getting Anna back here with the runtime, but great attack from USF Green.
Yeah, but they did trade out their fire, so they're going to be down their Anna plus their fire. There's only 4 members left remaining, and Arya just coming here to touch here.
I was thinking maybe they wanted to grab there as they try to push back the payload, but grab's a very powerful ultimate, so they might want to wait for the barrage to come back so they can combo it. Hopefully they can regain that position, though. They've got to give up some of these angles as the respawns for Coog Esports come back in. And a grab coming in doesn't get anyone. Kind of zones them on the corner, but...
It does get the Zen around the corner there, and Kirito getting 2! Getting 3! Oh my goodness!
Hey, look at the time bank. USF Green with 3 more seconds on the clock. Do you believe in miracles?
I think I'm starting to be a believer.
I've been a believer ever since I heard Justin Bieber's first album. Wait, did you say believer or believer?
You know, we could go with believer if you want to continue your sentence about Justin.
I actually I don't know what you're talking about. So changing the subject here, we've now moved on to the next attempt from both teams, as both were able to obtain a full cap. Slightly more time coming in from USF Green, and it seemed like each team had their different strengths there. So USF Green only slowed down a couple times on attack. The same goes for Coog Esports. What would you say was the main difference between the two teams' playstyles with the time banks so close?
Well, actually, there was great play there. A lot of patience coming out from USF Green. Every time Coog Esports used their window or used that high noon, they would just back away. They would wait, and then they would re-engage. Great play from them. They were also setting up their Pharah, and Toast was building up that Nano so quickly, getting LeBam a lot of opportunity to pop off there. So, and it looks like we're gonna get a full team comp swap here. We're gonna get a more dive Brig Zen comp for Coog Esports going on this attack.
Those Nano Winstons were very effective, and maybe a little over ulting from Coog Esports. See if they adjust. Meanwhile, Greetings is going to wrap all the way around behind on Sombra. Keep an eye on her as she just hangs out with Arya Jet. Kirito getting both supports, so they're going to have to fully reset. Greetings maybe actually steps in the trap here, could get taken out. So time continues to tick. Always feels nice when you land a trap. Those are pretty tricky to spot when you're in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, and Kirito just catching a couple enemy players on that transition, so not a great transition there if you're Coog Esports. You got to be a little bit more disciplined as you approach the point there.
Yeah, the Pharaoh Rockets are raining down, and meanwhile D.Va with the defense matrix is all the way up front, so maybe the support players want to give Diego a call and ask him for a peel, but they do get a pick on LeBam. So both teams now fighting on the point, and it looks like this could be the eventual turnaround here for the attacking team.
Yeah, they catch out LeBam there. He gets hacked, and they were able to punish. It looks like Toast was just being a little bit preoccupied with the divers in the back and wasn't able to help LeBam. And they lost so much space. They backed away so far, and Coog Esports was able to capitalize there.
Diego jumping off the edge to reset mech. Meanwhile, Arya Jet is behind them. If they spot him out, they might could get a sleep on him. Let's see. So here he comes onto the flank with the Sombra. They're going to hack. But Tiger Lily there for the peel, keeping her fellow support alive.
Yeah, but they had to give up so much space. They had to give up so much space just to peel. It was a 5-man peel just to keep that Ana alive there.
Well, hey, they're still in it. They've got the high ground here. Here comes a barrage. Takes out Yodel, but Kirito pays with his life. But we're in overtime here, so all they need to do, USF Green just needs to win one team fight. Bo goes down, but so does Uchiha Madara. But the nanoed LeBam is unable to pop down bubble, possibly didn't have it. And they're just dying on point here at this point to buy some time. Still in overtime though, so Coog Esports has to maintain a presence on the point. And USF Green's going to want to regroup as fast as possible because they're giving up space fast.
Yeah, and Greetings coming out with that big EMP here that should theoretically close out this team fight if they can get a big, massive EMP here to open up this team fight. Here it comes.
High ground. EMP comes out, gets 5 of the enemy team. The only one who doesn't is LeBam, who's on point, ulting with Primal Rage, just forcing everyone off, buying his team time to get back in it. But he pays for his life, but it looks like they'll be able to turn this over. Bo is invincible, of course, with his Transcendence, but he's not able to heal his fellow support up through the tire. That's instant tire damage. And I think USF Green's able to turn this around. They get the D-Make on Diego. Arya Jet stalling as long as he can, but he is super low. He's got to get out of there. He gets back on point, though, and is quickly taken out. So USF Green recovered there nicely, stopping Coog Esports before capping Streets phase, but now they have to repeat that, if not improve upon it.
Guess what, Woody?
What?
It's winnable. USF
It's a
Green,
miracle.
It's winnable. I wouldn't go as far as miracle yet, but it's winnable.
Yeah, we got to hold off. We can't throw around the word miracle too fast and too loose. You're right. I got out ahead of myself. I'm just excited. I just love seeing the competition here, and you got to wonder what the comms of USF Green are like right now. Coming off their first loss of the season, and then the first 2 maps against their matchup with Coog Esports, who's really been a daunting opponent, and putting up a show like this on Blizzard World. I think they're getting some confidence.
I mean, who doesn't love an underdog story? You're right, Woody. You know, sometimes you just gotta believe. You gotta have some faith. Believe in the miracles, and it's winnable.
This is very winnable. And if they play attack, honestly, on first point here, I think USF Green had a better attack than Coog Esports did. So we'll see how they go. But it looks like their team comps are a little bit different this time. We've got Greetings on the Ashe. Zavilio is going to stick to the Hanzo. And double shield, because why not? So Arya Jet is no longer on the Wrecking Ball. He's going to play the role of anchor tank with his Sigma and just make it that much harder for them to get through. Greetings up on the high ground, has to back down as ZZ takes the high ground control.
Go!
So they're slowly chipping away at this map, pushing up to the backside of point here and waiting to make their move. Toast is 44% to Nano, charging it rather quickly. ZZ Short takes it, so no res and less heals for Coog Esports. This is the time to go. And here comes Kiroto all the way in on Greetings, takes out Greetings. So now there's no DPS counter except the Vilio, and he's got a way for those arrows. They don't shoot instantly, so he's doing his best. But without the Ashe, the Pharah is really going to shine.
Yeah,
really
if
quick.
If you're YOLO there, you're kicking yourself. You don't expect a Junkrat just to kill a Mercy from that range all of a sudden, but you know, ZZ makes it happen. I don't know how, but ZZ, he makes things happen for this team.
No one expects the Junkrat pick. Here comes the Nano Winston. Maybe a little early, I'm not sure there. He's got to wait for his jump to come back on cooldown. And now he has no bubble and no leap, and he's got no support.
He
But
tried
they
to
trade
make something
tanks there.
happen. Yeah, they had to try to make something happen with that Nano, but you know, he didn't have the cooldowns and he didn't land on anyone. So I don't know who was the call. There's probably a little bit of miscommunication between the two. But at least they're moving the payload here, and they traded. Yeah, they did trade a tank.
We've got 20 seconds here, but they have dragons. They also have window. So if they can make this effective, Bob misses point.
Yeah.
That's fine though. He gets slept, but he's not contesting point. So they're able to make slight progress here. Diego has to drop down to prevent it. Here comes the dragons cutting across the team fight. Diego pops his pocket. Kirito takes out Greetings, but falls for it. And now we have an overtime battle on payload. So USF Green has to win this, and the Flux is gonna just devastate them as it takes out Tiger Lily. And then with no heals, Labam falls. So valiant effort from USF Green, but just unable to win that final team fight to force us to a map 4. Victory goes to Coog Esports.
A map 4 that doesn't exist because the game is now over.
Yes, indeed. So Kirito, a little consolation prize. Everyone has to watch this awesome play of the game.
But that's probably the best showing, the best map that I've seen so far from USF Green. So a lot of improvement there. Really, really good. Showing some signs of life.
Yeah, and I was impressed at how quickly Toast was getting those nanos. Made for some exciting team fights, having nanoed Monkey flying at Coog Esports every couple fights.
There we have it. Coog Esports taking their first win of the season over USF Green, who now fall to 0-2.
Coog Esports with a strong showing. And they have another game tonight against USF Gold. So they're running the gauntlet, green to gold, at 10 p.m. Eastern. So a little over an hour from now.
All right, Woody.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the USF Green Coog Esports game. We will be back for, at least Wacky and Woody now will be back for Coog Esports and USF Gold at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. The stream, I believe, is going to stay online, but we are not going to be talking for the next hour straight.
Unless
We
you want
will
us
be back. I don't.
flight in the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Three, two, one, zero, zero. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. first flight of the Orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Encore Overwatch, and thank you for joining us for the follow-up match, the encore match, I guess you could say, between USF Gold this time and Coog Esports, who is running it back. Coog, of course, coming off their 3-0 victory against USF Green, very dominant, save for a real tester on Blizzard World. So here they are to try and get off to a 2-0 start, but then again, so is USF Gold, who is also 1-0 in the season. And we're just waiting on a few more USF Gold players. But while we wait, Wacky, my casting partner here, will have some very insightful insight onto this match, how he thinks it's going to go, and all his predictions will come true. You can bet on it. So Wacky, what do you got
please.
for us?
That's a lot of pressure putting on me. Please, whatever Woody says is completely false. I do not.
This is true.
I don't own. I'm not liable. I'm not responsible for any predictions that will be wrong, and most likely will be wrong. But what I can guarantee is that I think we'll have a pretty good close match here between USF Gold and Coog Esports. Coog Esports, like you said, coming off their second win of the season. Let's see how they do on their second match of the day. So both teams undefeated coming in here. So I would expect this to be a nice, close, fun match here, Woody.
So USF Gold, I'll run through their roster while we wait. So on the tank role, they've got a number of flex players here. So for tanks, we've got Bebop, Dirk the Turk, and then Lulu Key and Ominous Spy are tank, DPS, and support flex, so they can do it all. So the commander, Hui, is also a DPS player. They've got Saki, and then on support, they've got Jin and Kinto. I'm not sure who the starting roster will be among those, but there they are. And I'll just run through the Coog Esports roster again for those who were not here for the first map. We've got on tank Arya Jet, Diego Woe, Luigi Perez, and Greetings, who is also a DPS player. Caffeinated on DPS, Zavilio on DPS, and then DPS support flex is Yodel. And then finally for support, we have Dino Lobster and Vo. So first map will be Control Point, Lijiang Tower. One of my favorite maps.
Definitely one of the best maps. One of the best maps up there, for sure.
One of the best, I agree. And it's got that night mode. And of course, we know when Overwatch 2 comes out, we're expecting it to have day and night mode, different weather variation. Be real cool to see all these maps we know and love with the different stylings, different environmental overlays, whatever they do behind the scenes that makes it look so pretty. So it looks like we just got a bunch of players for USF Gold here.
They're probably still scrimming in their quick play games before they actually came in here.
Yeah, I heard the casters were doing that too. How'd those games go? Lots of dominance, or was it?
I don't know about casters quick playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, no such thing happened. But if it did, I'm sure they went undefeated.
I'm sure. Because
So
casters are the epitome of great players, to say.
Vo and Luigi are blue spectators. Looks like that's already set up. So is this the starting lineup confirmed? Do we know that? Bebop, Dirk the Turk for tank. Saki, Commander Hui, Kinto, and Jin on support. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Our second match for Encore Overwatch on this beautiful Wednesday evening. So USF Gold is confirmed. This is their starting lineup. They don't have any subs, so we'll be with these players until the end. Coog Esports is ready, just waiting on USF Gold, and we'll get things kicked off here shortly.
Coog Esports coming in here, let's see if they make the clean sweep of the USF squads. They beat the green. And now, let's see if they can go for gold here.
Now
Yeah, the
adding at
USF
lead
Gold
double
team
pass.
has a notably higher SR, which
Initiate
SR is not everything,
match.
but it does give you a general sense for the game speed that the teams can follow, perhaps the different metas that people can flex into to adjust. So let's see if Coog Esports is prepared for that. We're expecting more of a pushback from this version of USF. Hopefully, for their sake, they don't get caught on their heels.
Ready for
But
battle.
we'll see. Should be a very good matchup as the teams select their rosters here. What does it look like so far?
Expecting probably some sim. This is a rush sim kind of map. Heavy favored. I'm not sure if Kinta will stay on that loose or on that Zenyatta here, but we've seen stranger things on this map.
We have seen, speaking of which, Stranger Things Season 4 trailer, I believe, came out recently. So everyone who is as hyped for that as they are for this game, join the club. Here we go. Both teams are pushing towards point. Symmetra, again, gets both teams onto the point. Immediate engagement. The turrets come out, causing all kinds of damage and slowdown in May. This is just a CC fest all around. Greetings gets the first pick for Coog Esports.
Yeah, Season's greetings there, getting the early kill onto Kinto there, and it's just a matter of time. They have no speed, so they can't back away there. Neither base actually getting big value walls there, but just looks like there was just a little bit better positioning there on the side of Coog Esports, and they able to take that first team fight win.
Yeah, and Diego Wall was over by the Mega, harassing the backlines. Telltale tactic employed against USF Green, just harassing him. Distracting him just enough to win the team fight, and then he pieced out. So here we go, fighting out in the open. The Immort field comes out early and gets taken out immediately. Bat window is going to give them a lot of space here. Big slam coming in, slows them down a lot. And we've got a pause requested. See if we can find out what's going on back here and get y'all back into the action. Saki on USF Gold has, of course, deployed that Symmetra shield. Both BAP windows are still up right now, but doesn't seem like anyone's really using them at the moment, as the teams are pushed pretty deep out here into the lobby.
Looks like we got a broken headset. I don't know how that happened. Maybe he was slamming his head onto the wall there.
You know, sometimes when you're healing in the heat of the moment, your headset just completely gets demolished. It's happened to all of us. Yodel has given us the all clear.
And we're coming back in. Here we go.
Let's resume action. 3, 2, 1. And we're in a 4v5 advantage here to Coog Esports. 4v4 now, but Coog still controls point, and they're gonna force them to re-engage. I think USF Gold's still hanging around. They're gonna get this D-Mech, I think, on Diego. Well,
Very scattered.
Diego pops his ult to perhaps get back into it. Doesn't work, though. He gets taken out, and now USF Gold's going to push in on this momentum, walling themselves off almost. Some interesting Maywalls coming up here from both teams. And Immort is going to allow Coog to fight out here in this lobby, but they're going to back down as that drops and just play around this Symmetra shield.
Ooh.
Greetings falls to that Diva bomb. And I think they're gonna be able to flip this. So USF Gold gets the freeze there on on Arya Jet. The Reinhardt taken out, and once that front line goes down, it's fairly easy to push the rest of the team over. So USF Gold's gonna set up on point with their Symmetra turrets and push back out into the courtyard.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there between, I think, players. Diego deciding wants to go in, but the rest of the team staying on a point. And same thing there, Greetings wanted to go in, but the rest of the team not wanting to. As we have a Sim TP in the back, doesn't really get too much value there. And the window from Jin. Just going in. The Blizzard coming out from both teams, and the Dino Lobster getting a big boop onto that Diva. Here we go. Coog Esports taking all the space, taking full map control despite the sim wall there, forcing back them onto that coast side. Diego going down there on the back.
Yeah, so Coog Esports flips the point here and just finishes off these stragglers. Bebop needs to get out before he gets D-Mech there. His team's not with him. Jin's going to go ahead and read the room and leap to his death to try and get a quick reset. We're coming up on last fight territory. Coog Esports still maintains control. They get their teleporter set back up and meet at the choke here. Symmetra,
early
shield
engage
coming
here,
out.
Woody.
Big slam coming in. Takes out Dirk the Turk. Yeah, they're not waiting for anyone to set the aggression. They're going to set the tone themselves. And they're fighting by their spawn. Meanwhile, the point is under no threat of being captured. Bebop tries to get back there and cap it, but it's a 1v4. So, Coog Esports comfortably, I think, takes this first point.
Yeah, great play. Despite having some headset issues, they're able to overcome that and take that first point. Just the aggression there and getting that first opening teamfight win and able to just keep on turning it was really, really good.
Right you are. So here we go on point 2. Now they've got a feel for each other's gameplay. I don't think there was any hesitation from Coog Esports going up against USF Gold. They were ready for that.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, here we go.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
It's like both teams gonna run the 6-man dive comp here. The Reaper Sombra. It's all gonna be who can get the better value hacks here, as both teams decide to fight in that tea house. Oh,
Yodel with the Discord, the damage orb. Forgive me, is Moira coming out, taking out Quinto. Arya Jet does fall, but Diego takes out Jin. So I think the advantage here is for Coog Esports with these early picks, and they're gonna hold them on the other side of this bridge while they walk backwards and cap point. Walking and chewing gum at the same time. So they're gonna get those early percentage points here.
yeah, get an early percentage points, and look at that EMP disparity here. Saki on almost 80% of that EMP versus Zavilo on the 48 there. As Arya going in, they're looking to engage here. Coog Esports wanting to go into their spawn.
Yeah, they're fighting out here on this mega. The USF Gold is separated. They're gonna pop Coalescence and just try and finish this off. Bubble coming in. And Bebop's low. He's about to get demeched here. He launches bomb to save himself, and now Coog Esports gets demeched. Diego loses his mech, so the advantage USF Gold has to push here while they're down on the Diva, but the huge EMP comes out with greetings on the Death Blossom, causing so much damage that they seem to stop all that momentum out there on the bridge right as they had an opening. Coog Esports with a heads-up play just sees it right back, forcing a reset. So USF Gold is going to rotate back to White Room here.
Yeah, USF Gold got a lot of tools coming out here. They also have their EMP plus their Death Blossom as the Diva Bomb tried to counter, but actually gets Quinto there on the Lucio.
Diego gets Saki with the remake. That's just salt in the wound. And they're going to have no problems holding this again. Bebop is demeched, and they're just going to force him to yeet.
Yeah, not a great showing there from USF Gold. They used three or four ultimates there just to lose that team fight there. But they do have Dirk the Turk. He has that Primal here, but in this kind of meta, in this mirror, Primal can't really do a lot here. So they're just chasing down that Sombra and force it back, and they're just chasing each other around this map.
Yeah, they're taking a long time to rotate around, but it does finally get picked. Coog Esports is happy to let them get on here so they can take the advantage in this team fight. Here comes Greetings with the Death Blossom. Gets Bebop out of the mech, finished off by Zavilio. And they're just going to push the remainder of the team out to bridge here. And they'll recap this with no problem. I don't think there's enough time for anyone to get back here.
Should have Saki there on the side. He should be able to touch there as both got a couple members there.
But they're doing a good job of cleaning up these onesie-twosie players on point to maintain control for Coog Esports. Lucio on point here gets taken out, and that's gonna do it. Oh, Myra with the late touch, just a hair too late, but probably wouldn't have made a difference. So pretty solid from Coog Esports on the first map.
Play of the game.
Yeah, not a bad showing there from Coog Esports. So far, undefeated against all the USF teams in this today. But not a bad showing on the side of USF Gold. Showing some signs of life. I think as long as they work on their alt economy there, they should be looking good on this next map here.
Next map, of course, being Escort style Rialto. We'll see if there are any swaps needed for Coog Esports. USF Gold has no swap, so they're sticking with what they got.
Dino.
So Dino Lobster is swapping for Vo on support. So it just seemed like Coog Esports was really, they'd really refined their dive from the first map, maybe just taking that recent history and using it to capitalize on there. It seemed like they were really coordinated with their engagements. Didn't seem to have too much trouble on either of those first points.
Yeah, and you can also tell Coog Esports they want to take the initiative here. And they definitely seem like the team that wants to be aggressive, wants to start the team fight there. And they're a little bit warmed up now too as well. They just played a match, and they won pretty handily. And now they're against the USF Gold, who is the higher SR team. But no, Coog Esports looking really, really good right now.
Yeah, they did a good job of separating USF Gold, their front line, from their back lines. They did the same thing to USF Green, but they've got to find a way to slow down the aggression of Coog Esports, maybe disorient them a little bit, slow them down, take some different angles. So we'll see if they can adjust. They certainly have the talent to do so. And this time it'll be on of course, a different style map, Escort Maps, very different from Control, fighting over that payload. So the battlefield's constantly changing as the payload moves around the map. Makes for some varied engagements. Gives different people advantages at different stages. Rialto has some long sight lines, so we might see some hit scan, some snipers, maybe some double shield. Double shield, of course, is a fan favorite, as likes watching anyone take damage. We just like people shooting shields.
I mean, who doesn't like shooting shields? It's probably the most entertaining, most fun part about Overwatch.
As a Reinhardt player, I prefer swinging my hammer through shields. But shooting shields, meleeing shields, what's the difference?
You mean you swing your hammer once and then you die?
Right, yeah, you get CC'd, you get frozen. It's all... The life of a tank is the life of a king, if we're being honest. So on defense here, we're going to have Coog Esports coming out with Aria Jet back on the wrecking ball, or as I like to call it, the big shiny object that distracts everyone. Diego on the Sigma. So we're going to have a mirror matchup with the tanks. Tracers on both sides. USF Gold has Quinto on the Ana, so they'll have that Nano at some point. See how fast Quinto can charge it.
I don't think they'll run here on the Ana. Yeah, they're going to go on the Brig here, and Commander Huey is going to go on that Hanzo. So a complete mirror matchup here on Rialto.
True mirror has arrived. So they're going to, USF Gold taking a different approach and actually pushing the payload from the start. Get it across this bridge, maybe around this corner a little bit. Meanwhile, Coog still up on the high ground here. Tanks just kind of toying with each other. Actually, Diego gets taken out by Saki. He comes up on the flank when Bebop gets that slam on him, so he's unable to move out of the way. Making good cart progress here.
Diego was holding a very, very aggressive angle there. Kind of gets punished there with a double dive there from the ball and the Tracer. Great coordination there as they're just trying to take over that high ground there, Woody.
Right, very exposed position, and they made the most of it. That's a big difference between what separates good teams from the great teams. Is one thing is recognizing an advantage, the second is being able to capitalize on it, which they were able to do. Greetings, meanwhile, says, I'm not done yet. Takes out two. Quinto falling, Bebop falling. Commander Huey makes his impact known on the battle, but Greetings is just taking over the battlefield. Is going to force USF Gold all the way back to spawn. Payload has pushed up and around this corner, but now they've got to make up all this ground again. They just gave up all these nice sight lines. So let's see how they adjust here. Coming out on the attack.
Yeah, Season's Greetings there, just popping off there on the side, getting 4 kills on that last team fight as Arya going for a very aggressive slam, gets punished there.
Very aggressive, doesn't quite make it through the doorways. He's got all 6 players causing damage. Dragon's coming out a little bit of a whiff as the teammate rotated inside. Perhaps he didn't realize that. Greetings just hanging out up top here though. They don't know that he's up there yet.
He's just holding the angle. He's just
USF
holding the
Gold-
angle there.
USF Gold has the high ground. So they were able to take up a lot of that extra space. Now they're just waiting perhaps for their cooldowns. Dirk the Turk gets incredibly low and falls. And then they move in on that. Greetings immediately pushes in, takes out Commander Huey. And now the scissor attack, the pincer attack, whatever you want to call it. Both teams, both sides of Coog Esports collapsing on the remainder of USF Gold. And Bebop says, I had enough. I'm getting the heck out of here. Going back for some heals. Waiting for his team. And now Diego needs to be careful here. He's got the Discord. Looks like he's going to get out safely.
I've heard of the pincer attack, but I haven't heard about the scissor attack. I'm curious on what the scissor attack is, Woody.
It just depends on the what hemisphere you're in. Everyone has.
Oh,
different
okay. I see. Okay, yes,
right.
we have a flux
I'm
coming
a world
up here.
traveler. I've seen it all. So we've got a on the payload. Mines are going to come out from Coog Esports. That's going to stop the payload right where it is, and wait for the picks to come in. And who else but Greetings taking out Commander Fury. Commander Fury's got to be frustrated. He keeps losing these 1v1s. Now we've got both mines just all in the middle. Payload's going to make a little bit of progress, but I think Coog Esports still has the advantage here. And they're going to love seeing that trance come out. It's going to clear up the mines, but now they have perhaps the greatest support ult in the game is no longer in their back pocket. So they really need to make the most of this. And Vo, I don't know about that Transcendence. He's going to go ahead and use it too. He felt inspired after Jin popped his.
Probably
No
just
one
wanted
was
to come
looking.
back. Ooh, Greetings goes down. That's a huge pick. Greetings just popping off this first map. They're down their Hanzo.
Yeah, getting Greetings out of the fight is going to be a big win condition here. And they've taken out Aryajet too, so this is their moment. Looks like they're going to be able to do it. And then Coog Esports now suddenly has to back quickly. Most supports just jumping into the water. They wanted to go for a swim. And they'll respawn safe and sound as the payload makes its way across the bridge.
Yeah, they'll get this reset here, and at least they won't completely lose space here on this high ground here as they're trying to force Arya, or trying to. Oh no, never mind.
Bebop might fall there. Instead, he turns the tables and takes out Zavilia, so they're going to be without that pulse bomb for this next team fight. They still have plenty of space in street space, but you really don't want to give up any advantage if you can help it. Slam coming in.
Ooh,
Saki getting 2 with the pulse bomb. And you got to say that's worth it if he gives himself up, because now the rest of the team's able to finish it off.
yeah, I don't know if they're able to touch here. They do have Arya. He is on the ball, so there is a chance that they'll be able to recontest. Plus, they have the rally. A Dragon's just to clear the card space just a little bit here, and they're re-engaging. It looks pretty good here, Woody.
Let's get him off. So you think maybe when Zavilia went down early, that was enough to lose that point, but they were able to re-engage here. If they can finish this fight, and looks like USF Gold was able to get control of that. It looked real dicey early with that nice Dragons to stall, clear the point off, the slam, the mines. But USF Gold says, no problem, we'll just adjust, and now they have the ult advantage, and they're still pushing payload.
Yeah, the engagement looked actually pretty good for the recontest there, but smart on USF Gold, just backing away there, just giving them a little bit of space, and then re-engage with their own Transcendence, so pretty good play. Oh,
Aryajet is swapped off the ball onto the Orisa, so he's going to play this anchor tank and just beef up this choke point here. Dragon's going to push him away, but it should be fairly easy to avoid.
wow.
But it does take out Diego, and then really nice aggression from USF Gold. Looks like they're emulating what Coog Esports just did, and I think they're starting to get their sea legs under them.
Yeah, we got ourselves here a game. We got ourselves here a match here, Woody.
Score 0.
I'm pretty excited about this. So I was kind of sensing a repeat of the earlier game, but yeah, like you said, we have a match. This was very strong performance from USF Gold there on attack. Just when it seemed like Coog Esports wasn't making bad engagements there, but they just couldn't finish those team fights off. And good on USF Gold to make the most of it and turn a lot of those fights around back to back to back. Just push the payload all the way through.
Yeah, and you know, it was looking almost like a full hold there on that first point, but
Ready for battle.
USF Gold just managed to roll their way through second and third, not dropping a single team fight the rest of the way through. And
Don't look now, Wacky, but we have a Reinhardt sighting.
oh, we could have a rush. We could have a rush comp coming in here. USF Green did attempt this last game.
It almost felt like they were playing a bit of a rush comp just with how aggressive they were being on this last push. So maybe this is their comfort picks for the actual rush comp, as it's known.
It's gonna be a you know, your stereotypical rush comp. You have the sim that will TP you to the high ground places or the places that you want to go. You also have the Mei here, but let's see if they scout this out early. They should be able. Yeah, they have the Hanzo Iris, so they know what they're running here.
Of course, it's too late to go back once you know, but they can adjust based on what they're doing. Payload's going to push up. Nothing unusual here, getting a little bit of this early progress. Saki's above them. He might try to dive on a support here when they're least expecting it. Here he goes, waiting for the slam. Gets some good shots in, forces out the Immort, and he's going to recall. So he's up here, but he's fighting a D.Va on his own. And he might get taken out. Saki's super low.
Oh.
Aria Jet falling, so no main tank for Coog Esports. But they're still making a little bit of progress, and it looks like Coog's going to be able to turn this around. Minus a couple of their own, but they have respawn advantage here, and seems like they'll be able to get point A, or this first point here.
Yeah,
Phase 1, no problem.
Diego was looking a little bit distracted just trying to fight the Tracer, and Arya did go down on the Reinhardt, but the engagement coming here from Bebop, I don't know if the rest of the team's ready to follow up. They have a lot of ultimates here on this point.
I spoke too soon. They're choosing to fight this here. Some ults coming in, but USF Gold getting low. They're down a couple players here, and they're gonna wish they had those ultimates back because this payload is definitely getting there. Very ambitious recontest there, but you know, when you're going up against a great team, sometimes you got to take those risks. Could have worked out differently. In this case, the payload continues to move. Fortunately, USF Gold lost that team fight early, so they're going to be able to recontest here before too long. Just got to get this wall down so they can try and contest this high ground. You want to take control of this high ground on defense here. They're going to push in on the trans, but half the team gets booped onto the ground, so they're missing some of their players. Aria Jet still falls, though. Big freeze coming in on Diego. He gets pinned. Probably going to get demeched here, but they got to make sure he doesn't overextend. The Reinhardt, that is.
Big eat!
Huge eat from Bebop coming out. And that's going to be USF Gold turning this team fight around, taking momentum, going to stop that payload progress. Really solid engagement there from USF Gold. Had absolutely no problem taking that high ground.
Yeah, great play. Jin had that transcendence and was probably just going to switch off to Baptiste. They went on a full team comp swap to a rush. They want to take the full barrier here, but besides Saki has the McCree, and Greetings there on the sim, so a little bit variation there.
They're going to teleport into this high ground, and a massive slam coming in from Aria Jet. Gonna go and take out 3 players all on his own. That's the classic MTD moment that main tank players live for.
I think they made a play to boop Dirk the Turk there, and the rest, the team behind them just absolutely gets smashed there.
Yeah, so we'll see if there's any kind of late contest here. They do have enough time to do it. Looks like they're going to. They're going to wall in, take space here. Both Immorts coming out, but the Sim shield is going to give them all kinds of space here. See if they can sustain through this. Drop a freeze on the payload, and that's going to be huge. Getting 3-4 players with the high noon. Does take out Greetings, but this team fight's going to shift to USF Gold. Still pretty even, but I think USF Gold, yeah, USF Gold with the timing of those ults, the timing of their lamp was just that much better to take control of the payload there.
yeah, that re-engagement was looking really, really good there. They wall off that Baptiste window, but that sim wall went from Greetings, you know, it was probably going to slow them down, but they were able to hold off with the Lucio beat and was able to turn that team fight around.
Yeah, I love how they staggered the immortality field, held on to it the last possible second, and then with that May freeze was just that was the heartbreaker. Teleport coming up over the top. They're gonna play this the backstab here. They've just seized the high ground again. Awesome engagement. That's fun to see. You love to see that coordination. But Bebop throwing the Diva Bomb up says, to heck with it. Let's see how many we can get. Gets 2. And what a messy team fight here.
Oh!
Looks like USF Gold stabilizes, but you gotta love the cheeky teleport onto the high ground. Almost worked out for him.
Yeah, you gotta love the cheeky teleport. Sevilo kind of just Kobeing his May ult kind of just goes a little bit too far out there from the enemy team there. But I think they're also forgetting the one golden rule as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have the high ground, and USF Gold managed to take that over. Win the team fight pretty easily.
Yeah, Bebop almost saved it there with the Diva Bomb, but here they go, wrapping underneath, trying to avoid getting these direct line of sight so they can get onto the payload here. So they're sliding around. Bomb's gonna come up, gets 2. So back-to-back double kills from both Divas. And Coog Esports, with this re-engagement here, does manage to get the payload to the end of phase 2 with just over a minute left. USF Gold has a lot of ults online though.
Time to raise my APM.
Yeah, decides to just go for the classic, run it down mid, throw the Diva Bomb, and maybe something happens, and which it did. They got 2 kills off of that in the open space there. And Coog Esports looking pretty good on this attack here.
Dirt gets walled off here, but they're not able to take advantage of it because Saki pops his high noon, just makes it too difficult for them to try and take out the Dirt. Vilio takes out Dirk eventually, though. They've left the payload behind. They just want to win this team fight. But these respawns are going to come back pretty quickly. They may want to send someone back there. Looks like, yeah, Vo's going back there to push it forward a little bit while the rest of the team presses this advantage. Immort field coming out, but they're still swinging. They're going to go ahead and drop Bap's window here. Forces USF Gold into their spawn so they can make more progress on the payload.
I have to say here this, Witty. Zavilo is absolutely relentless on this May. This guy will go forward and forward and will never stop when he's on this May character.
Kiki wall off on the spawn as well, and here comes the sim wall. So both teams dancing around point now, dancing between the columns, see who can take advantage of this. Like every team fight, we've got cooldowns and ults popping up all over the place. And you just gotta hold your breath and wait to see who comes out on top. And it looks like this time it's gonna be USF Gold. We still hold on to that Diva ult, and we're down to 60 seconds. So USF Gold already has the time advantage. Let's see if Coog Esports can send this to an overtime, or perhaps cap it in the next 50 seconds. They've got to regroup here, and they're down ultimates. So Zavilio he'll have his freeze soon, actually. So
that's a big ultimate coming here.
Yeah, freeze and Diva Bomb can both be fight changing. Definitely zoning ults.
Big wall. Ooh.
That bomb takes out Arya Jet, just sneaks over the wall, but they're going to push it anyway because they're running out of time. They take it. So both main tanks have traded here. This is an even fight. Another wall coming in. Maybe they can get an extra pick. He goes ahead and drops it as the team was able to rotate back, and they're pushing up both sides. They're pushing left and right, getting picks here all around. There's only Diva. Bebop on point. Gets demeched. Here comes Dirk. He gets walled off. Civilio's paying attention with the freeze. Takes out the main tank, and they're going to try and just use whatever ults they have left to try and win this. We're in an overtime situation, so advantage still goes to USF Gold, but Coog Esports just has to cap here. No problem after all those picks. So maybe they can see what kind of momentum they got there at the end. See if they can carry that forward, because they're going to have to do something special here to avoid a loss.
They did cap it all the way there, Woody, and I have to say, great play there. Shavilo on that. He is all in. Yeah, he's had some pretty decent walls, walling off the main tank there on that last point. I would probably expect both teams to just come out with the rush mirror now that they're looks like they're comfortable running it.
Yeah, now that they've established those are
Ready for battle.
those are comps that work for them. USF Gold going back to their original comp here, at least
Oh
in
no.
spawn. See if they run out with it. Looks like they are committing to it because they're on defense. They can't change. Coog Esports,
Attackers
meanwhile, is
incoming in
sticking to the
10
rush
seconds.
for their 60 seconds of offense. So I think as long as USF Gold doesn't take any risky positions here, you hate to see an early pick come in and they waste all that time bank they built up.
Yeah, they just gotta worry about the sim TP here. That sim TP will be a key win con if they can get onto the high ground, run over either their Sigma or the Zenyatta.
We have
Or
a
can-
pharmacy.
They do have the pharmacy, so
So Civilio is now on anti-Pharaoh duty with the right-click May. See how accurate he can be with that. And they're going to get across the bridge with no problem for the concussive blast. Bebop coming in for the slam here. See if they can get any picks out of this. Saki does take out Bo. So advantage Coog Esports here. Already Jet. Pretty exposed there. Pushed up a little bit too much. And once he's gone, Bebop just engages with a huge slam. An easy cleanup from that point on. So ultimate advantage is tilted towards USF Gold here. Commander Fury's at 80% on Barrage. That's going to be a big damage dealer. And a lot of swaps coming out from Coog Esports. So they... Greetings gets taken out so quickly there. They've made a little bit of cart progress here, but this is pretty standard distance for any time bank. So we'll see what they're able to do here. Barrage is basically just going to zone off point, and actually he gets taken out. So exposed as a Pharaoh when you're barraging. But that buys his team enough time, perhaps, to get some extra picks here. Quinto falls down, though, so USF Gold is without the Mercy, and now Coog Esports is parked on the payload, making all kinds of progress. That's exactly what they needed there. Coming out of spawn with all those swaps, the old disadvantage. We might get a recontest here. Bebop's sticking around for a recontest. Is his team going to be able to support him? Is he going to... Looks like he does touch, but he's so low. He's getting melted. Transcendence coming in huge, and the mines take out Greetings, so that'll be a 6v5 advantage. 6v4, and it's here we go. So now USF Gold with that engage there at the end. The timing was so close. They just got to kill this Tracer. He takes out Jin, but Tracer has no recall. Just a matter of time, I think, till he goes down. Yeah, and that's going to do it. So great re-engage there from USF Gold to stop him from capping first point.
yeah, they just had so many tools to work with there at the end. Yeah, they lost that first team fight there, but eventually they had that ult advantage and just able to re-engage there. A pretty good comp swap there, going for that 6-man rush with the Winston Diva. It's so much easier to get onto that high ground playing that Winston Diva combo, and yeah, pretty good adjustments from both teams there. It is 3 minutes for USF Gold on this attack, so it's gonna be a tough task for Coog Esports if they can hold it here.
Hey, we've established though that miracles can happen, but they have not happened yet tonight.
They can happen. You're right. I've yet to see one.
But you know, hey, we're still in map 2 here. We've got a much stronger contest, and this could be, if USF Gold holds on, we could have a 1-1 situation here. Looking at a long night here for match 2. Don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'm getting excited, Wacky.
Yeah, I just like seeing both teams just go back and forth here. It's always nice to see some close Overwatch, buddy.
So Arya Jet is going to start off on the Orisa. They want all the shields they can take. More shields, please.
Stop the payload.
And USF Gold kind of sitting in spawn. Maybe they're just waiting to see what they're going up against. And yeah, they're going to make some swaps here. Saki and Commander Huey, they're going to switch over. So now we've got a Symmetra, May, Lucio, and Vap. And they're just all stacking on point here. No muss, no fuss. Keep it simple. Teleport coming up behind them to take this high ground. They're going to push them out of here. And that wall's going to buy Reinhardt some time.
They don't manage to fully clear him off. No, they do manage to clear him off that high ground there.
They do
and they
eventually drop. Payload's
Yeah.
still pushing. So now Carter's made about half the progress they needed. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what happens. Still plenty of time for either team to get a pick, win a team fight. See what they can do. Teleport comes back behind, so USF Gold's going for the flank again. And now the team is separated. Civilio falls early. This could be the opening that USF Gold is looking for, and they're gonna full send this. Slam coming in. Lamp is a little too late. And that might be all she wrote for Coog Esports on Rialto. Payload is pushing forward. There's gonna be an opportunity for a contest here, but it's just a Hanzo so far. Reinhardt's gonna join a little late, and this is gonna be hard to get close to this without dying.
Yeah, and they're making a full team comp swap to the rush, but they're gonna walk into that back window. It's not looking good here.
The back window and the sim turrets, this is not a place you want to walk into, but a big clearing ult from Hanzo coming out, gonna get them off point with the flux, but they're still not getting the picks they need, except for Derek. He goes down, and a bomb gets zoned off, gets blocked by the Sigma shield rather, but it's just too much coming in. Jin's able to get a double kill here. There's still a fight going on, but Arya Jet's walled off and he falls, and that's probably gonna do it.
Victory.
Yeah, USF Gold looking really, really good there on that rush comp. You know, I like that they just waited, just try to figure out, okay, what is Coog Esports running, and then they switch onto that rush comp. They go for that sim rush. Oh, look at the slam here. Just gets, just massively just gets 3. Absolutely gets dunked on.
You love to see that. Well, I guess it depends on if you're the receiving end, but you could potentially love to see that.
You could potentially. Here we go, 1-1 there.
Yeah, we're all tied up at 1-1. Looks like we might have lost someone for... All right, they're just tweaking some technical difficulties. USF Gold will be at full strength here momentarily. So we're at 1-1, and we are now to a best of 3 heading into hybrid map Blizzard World. Wacky, I don't mean to get you too excited here, but we're gonna see some maps played tonight that we haven't seen yet, just by the simple fact of going to additional maps.
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. You know, we still got to see Blizzard World here. You know, so far, how are you liking the variety of comps here? We've got a rush. We've had some double shield. We've had some sig ball. What's your favorite to watch here so far?
Favorite to watch? I mean, I am a sucker for Reinhardt, so anytime Reinhardt can get in the mix, I love it. But variety is also the spice of life. And I don't know that any one of those was particularly dominant. We saw both of them having some fun with mirror matchups on the rush comp there. It seemed like each team was able to make it work at various points. Of course, USF Gold coming out on top seemed to be able to make it work more often. But everyone was really pulling their weight. They had some great freezes, some great diva bombs, clutch support. This is an exciting matchup. Alrighty, Blizzard World. So, hybrid map, for those of y'all not familiar, if you're watching this, you are absolutely familiar with Overwatch maps, but there'll be a fight over a point, and once the point is capped, if it's capped, it'll turn into an escort map, just like we saw in Rialto. Blizzard World, of course, reminiscent of everyone's favorite theme parks.
Blizzard World.
The various Blizzard IPs sprinkled throughout the map. The pylons, the balloons.
I mean,
Of course.
I guess it should eventually turn to Microsoft, right? Next year?
Yeah. We should see some Minecraft references pretty soon. But my favorite is the Snacks Rammus. Having spent a lot of my World of Warcraft days in Nax, and also just loving snacks. I'm someone who eats food. You may eat food as well, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Question. I don't know if food's really for me. I kind of just live on water and the air.
Okay. Well, you are amazing. That's incredible, incredible biology. But we're here for Overwatch. We're not here for our dietary needs. That's for a different cast, different time. We'll plug that at the end of the stream. So we got USF Gold on attack here. Coog Esports is going to defend. And we've got a Cassidy sighting. We got an Echo sighting.
You have a double shield sighting.
4, 3, 2,
Say it ain't so.
It is so.
incoming.
It is so indeed. Greetings is going to hold the high ground up here as the Hanzo on the top left. Until they say otherwise. Looks like Bebop's going to try and force him out, and that's exactly what happens. Hanzo can get high ground pretty easily. Just doing some poke damage here. And Coog Esports going to hold low ground on the right with both of their shields. While USF Gold makes their way up the right side. Their left. And Tracer now on the back lines. But Bebop's so low. Bebop's got to be careful here.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting engage there by Bebop, but they should re-engage here with that Tracer. Bebop. Here we go as he goes up and slam.
Socket comes in to try and finish it off. And they're going to trade picks there. Bebop going down, but so does Vo. So 5v5 situation here. Greetings is just zoning out the Tracer on the left side while the rest of the team fights on the right. A big rock coming in. Knocking Diego off his feet, and Yodel takes out Commander Huey. So now this is the chance for Coog Esports to push around in the classic scissor / pincer maneuver. Forcing
The classic
USF Gold
scissor. The
behind,
classic
yes.
scissor maneuver.
You can't say one without the other these days.
No, no.
So they're just USF Gold is congregating around the statue here, waiting for respawns. And both teams still just poking. The double shield in all its glory can do all at once, but the Transcendence is coming in, and that's going to make it hard to do the damage. But still got picks coming in from both sides, and Coog Esports getting the better of the fight.
Team kill.
Yeah, you have the Transcendence, but you can't out-heal being a one-shot there. Looking like Shavilo just one-shotting the Tracer through that map window gets absolutely exposed here. But
So
you do
much
have some
damage
tools.
coming down.
Yeah, you do have some tools coming out here from both sides actually. So this might be an explosive team fight coming out here.
Yeah, one thing we're seeing in this game is both teams are waiting for the proper moments to use their cooldowns, use their ultimates, for the most part, you'd expect at this elo. Responsiveness instead of arbitrary engagements there. Mine's coming in, forcing Coog Esports off the high ground.
Oh, big pick.
Bebop's going to sit up on this high ground. Yodel falling, but then 2 picks coming in from Coog Esports. Going to take out Dirk the Turk. Their main take falls down. Saki, so those flanks are going to be a lot less. And then Bebop gets discorded, stunned, and deleted. Greetings is just having his way here. Kinko's got to get out, having already popped the Mothra ultimate, as I like to call it. Mercy's ultimate. Takes off.
And look at this there, Witty. Coog Esports not using a single ultimate, just wins that team fight outright. And Bebop and Kinto, they used both of theirs, so it's not looking good here. They only got a minute left to take this team fight.
Yeah, don't look now, but they're sitting on 4.5 ults for Coog Esports on defense.
60 seconds.
So what can you do here with a minute left? Perhaps try to bait out some ults, or you can get a pick and just overcome it. Commander Huey's going to take the high ground, try to get a burn, gets a big burn on a couple players on defense, and Arya Jet's going to fall there, so it was just enough. Here comes the Flux, going to force out the Trance. The high noon counter coming in, just to try and slow the push down a little bit. But now it looks like with the Bob coming in, they're full committing here. They want to take this point. They don't want any more time to get run off the clock, and Bebop's just going to play cleanup duty. Mr. Janitor on Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, great play by Bebop there, just booping the rest of the team there and exposing Arya on that Orisa. Gets that early pick that opens up the rest of the team fight, and despite the ult advantage there, USF Gold taking that first point.
So Commander Huey's going to be in a high ground standoff here with Arya Jet. He's getting pocketed. And they're going to just go ahead and give that up, back down a little bit, wait for the team. Rest of the team to show up. Dragon's coming in, it's going to clear off point for a little bit. Let Coog Esports take some of this space back. And Rock coming out from Diego is going to hit that shield, and they're going to be without that for this foreseeable future.
Here we go.
Dirk's gonna back down anyway, so
They're on the
Sweat
mega
coming in.
flank. Oh my.
The mega flank. Didn't think we'd see it. Greetings just showing up in the kill feed. He is a DPS player, but that's what you'd expect. But he's not disappointing. So Bebop's gonna say, "I'm gonna go ahead and push this while you guys are up there." Does get taken out though, but Yodel falls too to mines. Maybe a bit careless there.
It's a little bit of split happening there as we have Commander Hugh and Quinto there on the side as they try to fight to survive there, but Bo getting the 2 kills. Man, it's just team fights happening all over the place here, Woody.
Yeah, I'm fully zoomed out in the skybox here, trying to see everyone in my screen because people are everywhere. It looks a bit like my games in quick play, and I can tell you from my experience, there's no strategy involved for these teams. I'm sure there's something. So
Yeah,
yeah, they take the high ground. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Coog Esports just taking the high ground here. Looks like we're returning to a sense of normalcy. Payload progress has stopped, and USF Gold's rotating around to the left with a flux coming in. Maybe they're expecting... I'm not sure who he's going for there. Counter flux misses the rock, so he's going to pay for that miss by dying. Dirk the Turk, that is. Interesting transcendence.
The zoning transcendence, if you will.
The zoning transcendence. Bob is not on the payload, so no progress being made. A couple of interesting ultimates here. As I just got off complimenting everyone on how well their cooldowns and ultimates are being used. So here we go again. Full commit on this engagement. The mines forcing Coog Esports off the high ground. Zavilio takes out Bebop for his troubles, but that space that was created was enough for USF Gold to capitalize on it. Greetings, though, is not done. He takes out Zaki, but the payload is moving with abandon. I think if they can get control of this high ground here, they might could win this because we're in an overtime situation now where they cannot get off the payload. And if they give up this high ground, it's going to be hard to hold here. Another zoning dragons coming in, but Jin happens to have transcendence here. No problem. Bongos is going to up that damage. And they're getting the picks they need. Yodel falls, so they won't have the immort, but I don't think they have enough manpower here. Firepower to take back control, and they don't. They're going to stop just short of capping phase 2.
Score.
Yeah, a little bit of a disjointed team fights there happened that entire way through. It seemed like neither team just could really find their footing, and then when the dust settled, it just USF Gold was managed to take that high ground there, but I don't know what happened, Woody. There was just a lot going on there, a lot of splits.
Yeah, it seemed like things got a little hectic. Maybe there were some impulsive ultimates from both sides that just made for some little wonky engagement there, and then of course they came out on top. Coog Esports halting them just short of the second cap, but now they have to attack themselves, so we'll see.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
And Winston, so far, has been selected by Ariajet, perhaps wanting to take this high ground up here with D.Va. They've got a dive comp, really shifting it up from how things have been played so far. They might be just enough to catch USF Gold off guard here, having not seen this particular comp, at least as far as I can remember.
Yeah, they are gonna run actually the 6-man dive comp here with the Reaper Sombra, so it's like it's a little bit of a hybrid of a dive, a little bit of a hybrid of a rush versus USF Gold's team, where it's like a dive poke kind of comp. But they are gonna play around Sevilio's hacks here. That's gonna be the big key here.
Yeah, and he's off to the left. Looks like he's gonna get a scope on where the team is positioned and get ready for timing his attacks with the team. So Coog Esports is wrapped all the way around backside of point, and USF Gold is giving them space, actually seeding that high ground behind point and taking the high ground across the way. Dive is coming in. Ariajet comes in, pops his bubble. Diego does his best to DM for him, but gets demec'd. They do take out Dirk the Turk, though, so see if that was sufficient win condition for them as they trade tanks there. Diavolo is in a 1v1 duo for a little bit at least. The rest of the team continues to fight, and Snacks Ramus, shout out to my favorite lunch shop. Coog Esports coming out on top here. So that tank trade, they really turned that to their advantage. Getting the kill on Bebop and then finishing off the rest of them.
Yeah.
Saki and
It looked like
Zavalio.
USF goal. They were trying to kite that. I mean, they were just kiting away all around that map, but like eventually they're just gonna decide to run their own rush comp as well here, going with a Reaper McCree. So we'll see some version of Rush v Rush. But Zavalio on 81 onto that EMP. It's gonna be a big key here for this next team fight.
USF Gold on the high ground here, meeting them at the stairs. They're gonna go ahead and push down onto the payload, fight them here in the choke. And they're getting pinced. Pincer moved.
Scissored, if you will.
They're getting scissored by Coog Esports here. Coalescence coming out from Yodel is going to force them off point. They're going to give them the space here and then re-engage. Huge EMP taking out all of USF Gold. When I say taken out, I mean hacked, but that's going to lead to all of them falling to Greetings. Death Blossom.
Yeah, they're just setting it up perfectly for Greetings there. Big EMP. Savilo does go down, but you know, you do your job, you set it up. Greetings with that Death Blossom, absolutely massive. And there's 4 minutes left to capture this second point here.
So they're really counting on Saki with his one
Run away, Vo!
flashbang to stop those EMPs. They have some time here as Zavilio is only at 15% to the next EMP. And USF Gold's getting a couple picks. They should be able to push them off at this point here, stabilize just a little bit. D-Met coming in, forces out the Diva Bomb. Often see Divas using their ultimates in that manner just so they can stay in a team fight. And the payload's continuing to make progress though, even though they got a couple early picks. Slam coming in. Is that enough? It is enough to demec Diego well. But Coog Esports turns the fight around until Saki shows up with a 4-man high noon. Cassidy coming in clutch. The voice chat has got to be going crazy on USF Gold's side. Huge turnaround there when it seemed that all was lost, but they still have to hold for 3 minutes. They can take a little bit of solace, though, for that confidence boost there.
Yes.
They regroup up here in the high ground.
Saki just exposing that the Diva was not in mech and just absolutely obliterated Coog Esports there. Great play.
So Derek has to be careful here. He's pretty far forward and he's kind of zoned off by this Winston bubble. As long as he's got his support, but he doesn't. He dies. Diva Bomb here. Can it make something clutch happen? Does a little bit of damage to Arya Jet, who does actually get taken out. Coalescence, though, is going to force the team back, but they can't stay back for too long. They got a contest here. Late contest from Bebop. He's going to use his remech to contest, but that's not going to be enough as Coog Esports takes map 3 and goes up 2-1 on the match.
Yeah, despite Saki's heroics there, he gets caught out the next team fight, isolated, and here we'll see it here with the play of the game. Exposing that there was no Diva mech, just backing away slowly, forcing that Somber out. Oh, actually getting Kinto! Just getting 4 kills there.
Love to see it. All right, so Coog Esports up 2-1. So they've lost their first map of the season. Of course, on the previous map. They bounce back though and take Blizzard World, and we're back to control. We've got Oasis, a little bit of different tone from Lijiang Tower as far as controls go. No substitutes, of course, coming in from USF Gold. They're playing Iron Man Overwatch here. Coog Esports. Not sure. I don't think they're making any swaps. At least they haven't said so far.
What do you think of the 6-man rush comp, where they run the Reaper Sombra plus the Winston Diva there, Woody?
Based on the results, it was very effective. So, but it does require a lot of coordination. You've got to have your angles set up properly. You've got to have your coordination lined up. Timing is everything, and of course, make sure you hit your shots. So if you can make it work, it's pretty powerful. And then the unfortunate thing for USF Gold is the only CC they had to possibly interrupt EMP was the Cassidy flashbang, and that's hard to time. And with that massive EMP, that's just, you might as well press the reset button when 5 of your team gets hacked.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to play around that EMP, maybe splitting off your team or saving your support ultimate and just hiding them away from that EMP as well. But it looked like, they were just all into their own version of Rush and they exposed themselves a little bit there. But I would say, like, having that Sombra there, it does give you that mid-fight or that neutral engagement. You can go on a hack on someone and you can cut someone off, you can isolate them, and they're able to rush them down because they have a little bit more mobility than your standard typical rush comp, because you have that Winston, you have that Diva, so your tanks are able to capitalize on that hack.
That's right. So both teams appear to be ready here. Entering map 4 for our second match. Those of you who might just be joining us, this is Encore Overwatch, second match of the night, featuring Coog Esports, who also played earlier in the evening against USF Gold.
USF Green.
Coog Esports. Well, they played earlier against USF Gold. Currently going up against USF. I'm all mixed up. Take it away, Wacky.
They're going through the USF gauntlet right now, as they went against USF Green earlier, and now they're up 2-1 against USF Gold.
Thank you for setting me straight.
There you go.
I'll just abbreviate USFG. Well, that doesn't help either.
That doesn't help, does it? They are both G. They are both colors, but all we know is right now is if Coog Esports win this map, they will be dominating and they'll sweep the USF rosters.
So mirror matchup coming in. Early high ground contest coming in. Bebop's going to have to give it up there until his teammates can join him. Bo is getting chased down and taken out. So advantage early goes to USF Gold. See if they can capitalize on that. Greetings is in a 1v1 with a Winston. You never want to do that as a Winston going up against a Reaper, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And now the high ground is held by Coog Esports. They're going to drop down to prevent the cap from USF Gold to figure out what they want to do here. Diego O gets out of there, trades out with Arya Jet. Nice peel coming in, both bubbles from the Winstons. Now the fight is happening around the bubbles. Arya Jet falls. So USF Gold with the advantage again. Still, no one has capped the point though. Bo falls, so USF Gold now is up 2. This is their chance, if any. Coalescence are going to go and guarantee the win as far as they can by popping this Coalescence to finish off these kills. That should do it.
Arya just jumping a little bit too far forward, probably, I think, got booped by Bebop even further to the rest of the team, gets early picked off there. And then Jin, able to build that Coalescence so fast, just able to clean up the rest of the members there. Great play.
Coog Esports re-engaging, pushing in up the right side through this back hallway, and they're going to fight all clumped up. Big hack coming in again. EMP takes Bebop, Saki, and Quinto. All get hacked. And Bebop's going to use his ultimate here, Diva Bomb. Actually gets Arya Jet. He was using it, I think, just to try and stay alive there. Gets a pick with it, though. So now USF Gold still has the advantage, or did until that bomb from Diego Wo comes in. And Coog Esports has to finish this fight to try and prevent any more percentage from USF Gold, who is still managing to stall. I don't think they'll try and touch again.
No, they don't have enough members to come in here, and both Sombras had to use their EMPs there.
So pretty even split here in terms of ultimate advantage. Vo doesn't have that barrier yet. Reading's coming in with that Death Blossom, but with no with no EMP, can they get that hack off onto a Diva? It's very, very difficult to get value from this Death Blossom here.
Death Blossom coming in, does some damage, draws out the sound barrier. Trading Death Blossoms. Commander Fury gets taken out, and so does Yodel. So USF Gold popping Coalescence again. Moira charges her ultimate so quickly. Reaper has no fade, but he gets the support of that sound barrier. So it's really anyone's fight here. Bebop gets Aryajet again with the Diva Bomb. Gotta be so frustrating. Now Vo is just trying to stall as Lucio here. Now Yodel's stalling as Moira. Should be able to get a little bit more percentage here. Zavalio is going to play the same game, waiting for respawns, and the contest still continues. Coog Esports trickling in, gets 15 extra percent there, so well done on them, but now they've got to wait for respawns.
Yeah, Yodel actually went down early on that team fight, that last team fight there, and when you lose that Moira, it's very, very hard to win that team fight. Vo had to use that beat just be able to keep everyone topped up, but eventually they lost that team fight.
So both EMPs are online here. Zavalio falls though, and the EMP is going to come out. Actually gets 3 fighting in this room. So much damage. Yodel's going to push out of it with Coalescence, force out the sound barrier. Now all that extra health from USF Gold is going to give them the courage to engage here. Bebop's going to eat as much of that Blossom as he can, and Greetings actually falls, not getting any picks with his ultimate. Commander Huey finishing off those kills, gets 3 on the board. Jin finishes off Zavalio, and this is another teamfight win for USF Gold, who has still not lost control of the point. And this stagger on Diego was so frustrating. That's going to be huge. Oh, careful there, almost gets a remake kill on Commander Huey, but good stagger there, holding at 99% as the staggers come in. EMP gets 4. This is their chance. Commander Huey holding on to that EMP, on that Death Blossom, did not get hacked, and uses his Blossom to turn that fight around despite the EMP's success there. Huey falls, and unless Winston can get back, he can't. So USF Gold takes the first point.
There we go, and I have to come back to that second to last team fight there. Sevilo had that EMP online, but went down early, maybe got caught up and got hacked with his counterpart from Saki. I didn't get really to see, but don't really want your Sombra to be the first one to die.
Yeah, both teams having their EMPs there. You're looking for getting yours off at the proper timing, and when your Sombra goes down, takes that EMP threat out of the fight, it's just anyone's game. And Coog did their best to try and create an advantage out of it, pushing out with the Coalescence, and it wasn't enough at the end of the day. But credit to USF Gold, that's a much better showing on this control map than on the first Lijiang Tower.
Right.
So Aryajet, Coog Esports going to take point here. And the Pharah pick coming in. Jin actually gets pushed off the map by the Diva. So they're down a healer. USF Gold is. So far, no answer from this Pharah, who's just working on his ult, not getting too much damage done. This is kind of a constrained map for Pharah, in my opinion, but there are some good angles you can get.
It is a very
tough high ground away from Saki. Saki's got to be careful here. He's getting low, dueling this Diva. He's going to use recall. Diva's just going to give up, and now Coog Esports still controls point here. Seems like both teams are looking for an advantage. The Rez coming in, so the Zenyatta's back in the fight. But this fight is just so scattered. Seems like Coog's not. They have plenty of people on point to hold it, and then USF Gold just needs to disengage. Getting the pick on the Lucio is nice, but Lucio, as we know, has speed boost, so he'll be back in no time. USF Gold, though, does have ultimates.
Yeah, USF Gold does have ultimates, but it's just a very tight, narrow map. Not a lot of great sightlines for that Pharah, but Commander has that barrage coming up and gets a kill onto Arya, so that should open up everything's up here, Woody.
That's right, and see if he decides to hang on to his ultimate. Looks like he won't need to use it. They should be able to clean all of this up. Those mines are going to hold them out. And Vo's just going to stall for a little bit. So is Tracer. But they do flip the point after giving up 63%. So tall task, but they've got control of the point. They do have some ultimates. They're going to have 3 ultimates coming up here: Transcendence, Barrage, and Mercy's ultimate. No one knows what that's called though.
No, no. Definitely. Oh!
Huge! Huge! It's a 6K!
I was
Oh
just
my
about to say, as long as the D.Va scouts the Pharah, they shouldn't get too much value from this barrage, but I was proven wrong here.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that will be play of the game. Coog Esports re-enters the fight with their tail between their legs. They, at least they know now that the barrage is offline, teleporting on to the high ground to try and get a pick on the Sig. Sig gets pushed off, forces the trance out. A shatter coming in on the invulnerable. Zenyatta's going to accomplish nothing, but Commander Fury does get the Symmetra off the map as well, and then takes out Yodel. So a Sand Barrier coming in, but too late because Yodel's already fallen. But they're going to see if they can ride this one out with their remaining team. Doesn't look like it'll be the case though. Arya Jet falls, so does Saki, and here comes the Symmetra shield. But USF Gold still holds control here. They now have more percentage points here. And this is very winnable for Coog Esports, but they've got to start getting some picks. And I don't think they're going to be able to pull this off. Diego Woe having to use his ultimate just to survive, but it's always tough when you're stalling here. He's by himself. He's going to get demeched again, and they still don't have control, so it wasn't really worth it. Maybe he should have left a little bit earlier. That's a big stagger.
Yeah, they're gonna be down this D.Va onto this next engagement, and Commander, no D.Va, and they have the barrage. Let's see how much value this is gonna get here.
Let's see if he can get a 7K this time. Mines are gonna zone the middle point, forcing everyone to the edges.
Oof.
Barrage was pretty telegraphed there, but they go ahead and get cleanup duty from his teammates. Sometimes that's all you can hope for as a Pharah when you're just stuck in one place with your barrage, so you just kind of give yourself up and then your team does the rest. Very dominant performance from USF Gold.
Yeah, USF Gold taking it back, and now we're tied 2-2.
Wacky, when you woke up this morning, did you think that you would ever be casting a map 5 as an Overwatch caster? Because we're here.
See, the first thing when I wake up is I shower and brush my teeth, but I do as a caster. After that, though.
So after those 2 minutes of hygiene.
Oh yes, 2 minutes. A 2-minute shower.
Yes. Yeah, 2-minute shower. No time spent on brushing your teeth. It's all just it's a ceremonial procedure.
No.
Well, we've got a best of 1 coming up here.
Yeah, we got a Junkertown map coming in. No holds bar. Winner takes all.
Winner takes everything. At least as far as this one individual matchup is concerned.
Yeah, just for today.
Junkertown with some wide open sightlines, and the Pharah that I so egregiously doubted on that enclosed map will now have the entire skybox. But you got to think Coog Esports might decide to play a hit scan if Commander Huey's going to run that Pharah again, because he was doing a lot of damage and wasn't really being contested. They did have a Cassidy, but I don't know how effective it was at countering the Pharah in that map.
Yeah, who's been a bit of a standout for you this entire series from both sides?
Oh gosh. Greetings. Greetings has had some flashes of brilliance with his Hanzo. So is Zavilio on the Mei. Obviously Commander Huey putting his name into the ring with that impressive Pharah play. But Pharah is only as good as his Mercy. We've seen a lot of good plays. It seems like there's been some maps that were very back and forth. There's been some dominant maps from each team. So I'm just excited that we have this incredibly close action. This has been a good matchup.
Yeah, it's been a great matchup. We're ready for a map 5 here. Oops, Coog Esports here.
It's like both just getting the team names sorted here with the color swap. So USF Gold is now the blue team. Coog Esports is now the red team.
Oh, did I switch? Or am I wrong? Luigi. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Coog Esports is red. USF Gold is blue. So who is defense on this first point?
USF Gold.
USF Gold is elected to play defense to start with. Both teams have readied up. And here we go. Map
Welcome
5
to Junkertown.
in this best of 5.
Initiating.
There were times tonight where it didn't seem like we would get to this point, but these teams are both showing out. Really close matchup. It's been fun to watch. Whoever wins it definitely deserves it.
Yeah, we've seen also just a lot of variety in team comps here. We've seen some of the rush, some double shield, as well as your poke dive hybrid comps, and I would expect maybe some Bastion. This is a pirate ship map, but I don't know if either team is dishonorable and will run it.
Zivilio possibly anticipating that Farah from Commander Huey, but Commander Huey has elected to play Ash, who can be very devastating with a Mercy Pocket. Of course, Zivilio on attack can always swap if he wants to, but this is a very friendly map for Widowmaker.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot of scissor plays to come out here in Junkertown. A lot of flanks you can take, a lot of long sight lines. So Sevilla here on the Widow does have the advantage here,
Stop the payload.
plus that double shield. Oh,
Early pick from Bo, taking out Quinto, so Commander Huey's going to be without that damage boost, and of course without the heals. Got to be careful here. Jin is super low. He's their only healer. He's got to prioritize his own safety here. Bit of a dive coming in from USF Gold, and Zivilio gets that early pick, taking out Commander Huey. That really reduces the threat of the defending team, and Greetings follows it up with a kill on Bebop. And they're going to make some good cart progress here. They will be able to recontest, USF Gold will, but it won't be for a few more seconds.
yeah, not sure if you really wanted to engage there when you were down that Mercy that entire time, and they're forcing this engagement again. They're not really set up for it, but they're trying.
Greetings is in a dangerous 1v1 with Saki and ends up paying for it with his life. Early Immort coming out from Coog Esports. They're not going to have that for the rest of this fight, but so far they're not taking that much damage, and Bebop maybe wondering where his team's follow-up is, or perhaps he was early. In either case, he goes down, and now it's just Dirk the Turk trying to stall. Actually wins his battle with Diego Woe, and as long as he stays supported, he's got the Zenyatta Orb on him. He's going to push through that shield, take out the Immort field.
And Saki's just being a menace here in the back, taking out 2 members. And the Flux coming out from Dirk, but the Transcendence keeps him topped up here.
This is a great example of both teams using ults at really great moments, great timing here. This team fight could have gone either way at any moment. They're still going on. It's the team fight that never ends.
Dirk the Turk!
Dirk the Turk is, he's been a real Dirk.
He was just standing on the point, just sniping people there. And he managed to get 2 kills, but it wasn't enough here.
Yeah, Dirk he just held his ground. He stayed alive a long time for someone standing out in the middle of the road. Credit to his support, credit to him hitting those shots. That Flux Transcendence ultimate counter combo, that was exciting to watch. Eventually, though, Coog Esports manages to get that first point, and they get an early pick here on the Streets phase, with Zivilio taking out Commander Huey. See if they can stop the res.
Yeah, Arya Jet here, a little bit split. Both supports from Coog Esports just chilling there, trying to make something happen.
USF Gold is fighting in two different fronts here. Meanwhile, the payload is halfway done with Streets phase. Bebop falls early, and now they're gonna have to wait. They can't engage with
just have
without
to
either of their
concede.
tanks.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be tough.
I don't think they might get a last second touch, but that'll probably just result in more staggering.
They do have a tracer, so they could theoretically touch this, and I think they're going to attempt
yeah,
to.
here we go. Yeah, ball is able to get back on here. They're gonna push out with the trance, take out Immort and drop mines all over the point. As long as they can avoid all this damage from the dragons. And they seem to, but then a couple of picks coming in. Greetings and Yodel are just sitting up on this high ground. Actually,
Ooh.
so is Diego Woe. Raining down damage from the high ground on two different fronts, and that's going to be really great repositioning from Coog Esports there. Losing a couple early in that team fight. But then USF Gold turns it back around.
USF Gold just coming in, managed to turn that team fight there. Great re-engage from them as well.
Just when it seems like it's all lost, you know, as a caster, I'm doing my best to paint the narrative of what just happened, but before I can get to my point, each team just says, "Nay, sir, we have more to say." There's been great moments like that from both teams. Not giving up on the fight. Sometimes you want to, but sometimes it pays off.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good. They had that early 2 picks, but here we go. USF Gold gonna take the high ground. Oh, but Fo goes down! Gets logged.
And a big stick coming in on Diego Woe. Actually takes out Greetings as well, so nice double kill, and USF Gold deletes the enemy team. And they're going to push all the way up here, at least Bebop is. Finish off that kill on Zavalio. A little bit longer of a stagger for Coog to wait for.
And look at this, Woody. We have a full team comp switch here on the side of Coog Esports as they're going for their 6-man with a tracer instead of a Sombra here. So there's like, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to switch to what we like playing and see what happens and just mow the enemy team down.
They're going to full dive that Zenyatta. There's Zenyatta. Good luck staying alive here.
He's trying his best. He's trying his best to run away. He's just floating. Run away, Zenyatta. Oh, he gets a kill!
Zenyatta went from being dead to rights to being first one to show up on the kill feed.
The hunted has become the hunter.
Most deadliest game. And that's going to be the first domino that pushed that team fight over. And actually, USF Gold is just stacking ultimates at this point. And you mentioned Coog Esports with the full team swap had to reset their ults. They've got some that are kind of close, but they only have a minute left here.
Yeah, they only have a minute left. They're trying to take this high ground here and have Savilo there on that off angle, but they need something to go on. They need to go on that Sigma. They need to go on the Zenyatta, but Jin has that Transcendence. So when they rush it, they should be able to survive this.
Dragon's coming in. The dive forces out the trance, but Greetings takes advantage of it, gets a double kill, so there's no res on the side of USF Gold. Coalescence here should be able to create enough space, and then Greetings just has to win this 1v1 Dirt the Turk. He's able to. So just the ball left. Bebop is the only one left to contest. He's going to get flushed all the way out.
Yeah, Kinto getting caught out there wasn't in that Transcendence when it happened, and they managed to take that team fight there despite having almost no ultimates.
So we wait for the payload to get through the gate here. Greetings is going to go ahead and take the pinwheel high ground and force them back. This is a very powerful spot to hold. Whether you're holding it or preventing the enemy team from holding it. Both are very, very valuable.
Looks like we're going to go for a mirror again. So instead of a tracer, though, Saki on that Sombra.
So now the team swap coming in from USF Gold. Now they're at a huge ultimate disadvantage, but they figure we stand a better chance of doing that early. And a pulse bomb gets eaten by Bebop. Good grab there. Way to pay attention to that. Yodel, meanwhile, is pushing the payload, still pumping out heals while his team takes the high ground and the low ground. Here comes the Diva Bomb here, and the bubble was too low and out of position, not deployed for the Diva Bomb. But the Diva Bomb from Diego Woe takes advantage of that, knowing there's no way to shield it.
Yeah, Esports here, they have that beat, they have that Reaper ult. It is going to be tough for, again, the Death Blossom to get that much value when you have a defense matrix here. Let's see if they manage to find something. Oh.
Jet going down early. Advantage goes to USF Gold. So the sound barrier is going to give Coog Esports a ton of help for this engagement, and they're getting picks. Payload is still contested, so it's not moving, but not going to last for long. Bebop as Baby Diva is the only one left here. And with 18 seconds on the clock, Coog Esports does manage to push it all the way. Seemed like they were going to get full held, but they buckled down and showed us their stuff.
Yeah, it seems like Coog Esports is really comfortable on this rush, the 6-man kind of comp. And you know what? They run it pretty well. I would expect them to just run it all the way through.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Here we go.
Actually,
now.
a saying that I came up with.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people credit Shakespeare for it.
Shakespeare, yes.
He came up with a lot of our words and colloquialisms, but that one was all mine. And I still have yet to see any royalties from it. I'm not bitter. I just want the truth to be known.
Yes.
Saki had briefly chosen a Bastion. Just want to point that out.
Attackers incoming.
Are we going to have some Dishonor coming out here and have a Bastion?
I want to see a teleported Bastion onto this grain silo, or I send it back.
We're not in gold, Witty. I don't know. We're not. We may not see it here.
Well,
maybe in a future gold tournament that we'd be hosting, we would.
You don't have to. You don't have to break my heart so soon, okay? You can just leave me on a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
I'm just a natural heartbreaker. What can I say?
You're just a naturally honest person. It's a good fault to have.
Okay.
So double shield on defense, of course.
With a Sig on attack here, Saki. Look for Saki and Bebop to set up a dive here. Try to set up the coordinated dive. They are on the side. They're gonna go for it right here.
Big slam coming in.
Let's force out Immortality though.
Yeah, Morton already has gone down. Still no shield. Got to wait for that shield to come off cooldown. Just getting some pick damage here. This is a really strong high ground position on these stairs. Ariat should see if he can get that Discord orb to fall off. He's taking so much damage. Finally does fall off. Gotta feel a little more comfortable there. Bap's gonna pop his ult up here and just give Aryajet this high ground position, firing damage boosted pellets. But USF Fuel is getting some good picks out of this. Jen with the headshot on the Tracer that was harassing him. Bebop's gonna roll through, force Aryajet off the high ground, but he doesn't really have the follow-up here from his team, who's still trying to regroup. Doesn't really have the follow-up to take advantage of it, so they're just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, they do manage to get that res there onto the Yada as the mines coming out. Gonna force that Immortality field and gets a kill onto Diego.
Yeah, dropping those mines on the stairs to force him off high ground. But the mines were also on the low ground, so nowhere to run there, really. And eventually they do get this first checkpoint under wraps and push forward on the high ground to meet the enemy team.
And look at this. Coog Esports probably going to make some team comp swaps here. Diego just needs to go down with the ship here, because he needs to switch off.
Greetings teleported forward to try and protect Diego, who fell just as he emerged from his Wraith form there, and he pays the price as well. So Coog Esports, when they were on attack, USF Gold hesitated for a long time, contested on Q slowly, and then here Coog Esports pushed forward, but it was a little too early, so we ended up both teams fighting with the payload halfway through phase 2. Dragons coming in, doing a ton of damage. That was a massive wombo combo there from Commander Huey. Doesn't have to be on Pharah, he can also play the Hanzo. And the payload is trucking along here with a pretty healthy time bank.
I don't know if you saw that, Woody, but it looked like Shavila was emoting on the side, and Saki just caught him out and just completely one-clipped him.
Yeah, you'd hate to lose a map or a match because of one emote, but See if we can all stay focused here on the task at hand, as there is a contest here. Dirk the Turk goes down early, but so does Jin. So what is more important, a support of the tank? It's a chicken and the egg argument. Ooh, Pulse Bomb takes out Vo. Big slam coming in from Bebop, enough to give him mines. And that's going to zone this payload out. Pika is just trying to stay alive, actually gets killed on her way out of the fight. Those mines are just going to sit there. I don't know about that. That Dragons, maybe Commander Huey's thinking
I
about
would expect a
swapping.
mirror coming out here. Yep. We are going back to a mirror comp. I feel like most teams should just run the 6-man if they're just going to switch to this anyway. I feel like the team that just rolls out on this will have the advantage.
Yeah, not having to reset those ults every time you change characters. But they do have a lot of time here. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Not too much to move. Saki is invisible on the payload. Looking for the opportunity for a C9 perhaps, or a hack as a follow-up on this team engagement. Greetings in the choke point. You got to take advantage of that team all clumped up in the hallway. Just goes ahead and Death Blossoms and gets that team fight over with. Forces the reset.
Yeah, Saki going for the attempt of a C9 there and gets found out, and the rest of the team falling there. So not the best way, as you only have a couple minutes left and you don't have any ultimates banking on. You would have wanted Saki to start building that ult charge for that EMP, but went for the Hail Mary C9 play.
Yeah, he's gonna get a hack here on the D.Va.
There you go.
So that's how you want to play that that Sombra there. Good coordination with this team. See if they can make the most of it. Diego does fall down, Baby D.Va, and they've got control of this this exit here at the high ground, not letting the Lucio out. But Greetings in the DPS line of Coog Esports is doing damage, getting their picks. But USF Gold, after taking care of the backlines themselves, they just hop onto the payload here and no more fooling around. Go ahead and finish it.
Yeah, that was the biggest value hack you could get onto that D.Va there from Saki. You lose so much damage mitigation when you hack that D.Va. It controls so much of how the team fight's played. If you can hack that D.Va, there's no defense matrix.
Yeah, that early DMEC was critical, and now Saki's at 83, 84% to EMP. You got to think he'll get that here before too long.
Wow, it's a lot.
The D.Va bomb engage is going to win this team fight. That sound barrier was... they might want that back from Vo. Not sure it was necessary, because the D.Va bomb really pushed everyone back anyway. They weren't exactly pumping out a bunch of damage onto Coog Esports there.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a miscommunication between either Vo or Diego. They probably wanted to engage with either, but we have an EMP from Saki here, so let's see how they use it.
They do get both supports with the hack. Bebop gets a D.Va bomb kill and the remake kill.
Yeah, and all that's left is the Tracer. Ready usage recall is only a matter of time. And we got a minute and a half, just a little less than a minute and a half remaining here. Kintu building up to that beat. Commander Huey getting that Death Blossom. But again, it's going to be tough. Unless you can get a hacker, get that DMAC onto that D.Va, it's going to be tough to get value from this Death Blossom.
Yeah, the high ground just gets completely taken over by Coog Esports. They drop down to contest the point, but Greetings still holds the high ground. He's going to Death Blossom on Dirk the Turk just to guarantee that kill on the main tag. Goes ahead and follows it up with a pick on
Ooh,
USF Gold's Reaper. So a couple trades here. Got a pretty even fight, but it's so scattered. I think this advantage is going to Coog Esports. Obviously the payload's not getting pushed, and they have the respawn advantage. So, and now with that DMEC, that's going to be a big time waster. Only 30 seconds left for USF Gold to regroup here. Ult advantage on the side of Coog Esports. Trying to go 2-0. One more hold here.
Not a lot of tools to work with. There's do or die. Last team fight coming in here. The Death Blossom from Greetings doesn't get too much. It's get completely nullified by Defense Matrix.
Saki has EMP though, so if he gets the right angle here, he might could shut this fight down.
It's gonna be the biggest EMP of all time to win this. Oh!
Rock, paper, scissors. EMP loses to the exploding robot mech.
Oh! Oh.
Just Bebop here. Trying to hold his own against 3 teams. Doing a pretty good job of stalling. But overtime is going to tick down quickly. Tracer does manage to touch. Incredible touch there. But with those early picks, they're already at a disadvantage. USF Gold is scratching and clawing for any last hope they have here. All the ultimates coming out to get Dirk the Turk off of here.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, and there you go. There you have it. Coog Esports.
Came down to the wire, but we finally have a victor. Great game from USF Gold and Coog Esports.
That'll be one for the record books. You know, we have Coog Esports winning the USF Gauntlet, taking down both teams, you know, a little bit handily, a little bit earlier, but USF Gold giving them a little bit more of a competition here. Yeah, as they said, 2-0 against the USF teams.
Awesome showing from both of these teams. Good to see that Coog Esports did not get too fatigued from their earlier match, perhaps using that warmed up status to their advantage, but USF Gold did not let them off easy.
Yeah, you know, USF Gold and Coog Esports, just great showing for both teams, you know. I'd just like to see maybe run out with the team comp that you're going to run with it, so you don't have to keep constantly resetting your ult economy, but great showing. Coog Esports coming out 2-0. That was a fun day of Overwatch there, Woody.
Indubitably. And with that, it looks like the teams are dropping out, going their separate ways. So on behalf of Encore Overwatch, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank the competitors for giving us some great Overwatch gameplay to observe and spectate and judge. Armchair coaching at its finest. Wacky, if you have any final words to say, or Ariel, if you're still in here.
No, that was another great night of Overwatch. We get to see Coog Esports run the USF Gauntlet, go undefeated 2-0, and they're undefeated in the season. They're going in 3-0. USF Gold dropping. Let's see if they can bounce back in their next match. But Coog Esports looking like a very, very good team this season in this tournament. So very excited to see what's next for them.
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a great rest of your evening, and Thursday, Friday to close out the rest of this week into Easter weekend. Good night, everybody. And what is it that Santa Claus says? To all of you, a good night.